Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Thylia. Last we left our heroes, they were finishing their journey to the capital of Thylia, the city of Mytros. Along the journey, we got insights into the gang's previous experience in the sprawling metropolis, from Jury and Juno's times in the Temple of the Five, Bucephiana and Calliandra's adventures in the Stygian Row, Opa and Nefella's exploits out on the coast, and Atalanta's misadventures at the palace. After much reminiscing, the oath sworn between everyone grew stronger, allowing the gang further insights into each other. Approaching the Crown City, the gang are hit with a terrible lightning storm, and amidst the flashes, they spot 3 young copper dragons with mounted soldiers flying overhead, and then land before them. The leader, Tarkon, informs you that he and his comrades are sent by King Acastus to escort Gladius Astra through the storm directly to the palace. But before they could leave, Callie and Nefel kindly ask if they could ride a dragon for the remainder of the escort. Upon reaching Mytros, they find the city besieged by rain and lightning. All the buildings boarded and shuttered for safety, and in the first gatehouse, those on the ground drop off the wagon and their steeds, and Jury specifically deposits his armour and weapons. As soon as they set foot into the city, a visage of the Lord of Storms himself appears in the black clouds and throws down a massive bolt of lightning, hitting Bucephiana full on. But quickly after, Atalanta heals him up. Before the sky visage could go, Opa magics up a retort to Sidon, asking him to kindly fuck off. As we begin, the gang enter the large gilded doors of the palace. You walk in, the gates shudder behind you. You hear the echoing of the rains and the howling winds outside through the vast marble halls. And you are brought by Tarkon and a variety of other palace guards throughout the main hall, up the grand stairs, directly into the throne room, where Tarkon, at the head of it all, walks in, takes off his helmet, salutes and says, "Your Majesty, the heroes Gladius Astra, here safe and sound." As Tarkon moves, you get the full scale of the room around you. You see a middle-aged man with a powerful build sits on a gilded throne opposite the entrance. On the steps below him are 4 others. A beautiful, ageless woman of regal bearing. A soldier dressed in a cerulean cloak who all of you all know too well. A tiefling wearing a black robe, and a finely dressed young woman at Acastus' feet. Centurions stand at attention along the walls of the room. And for all, I have visual aids. So, of course, we'll start with the most familiar of the 4. The man in the blue cerulean cloak is, in fact, Mr. Asshole himself, Commander Gaius.
Oh, rude.
We should kill him.
What an expression.
Prick.
He looks like a real narrow, doesn't he?
Are we saying this all aloud, please?
Absolute prick.
We just look at them one by one all together and just
What an ass!
And for reference, the blue-skinned tiefling, who you see kind of wearing a dark robe and kind of skulking a little. As we've already seen last week during Atalanta's flashback, the Royal Queen herself, Balance of the Five, and sitting on his gilded throne at the top of them all, the mighty build of King Acastus.
Ooh, with that beard.
Is King Acastus just a regular dude? Is he also God?
Human.
Ah.
Human.
Yeah, he's a descendant of the Dragonlords.
Oh, well.
Is Bucephiana related to the Queen?
Yes,
Yes,
thank
yes,
your
yes.
aunt.
She's your aunt.
Call for a hug immediately.
After you are all introduced by Tarkon, the king beams down upon seeing you. He's like, "Here they are, the heroes of the Heartland. Welcome, honored guests."
You have not come a moment too soon. I am in desperate need of your counsel. As you may have noticed, our beautiful city is besieged by evil weather. We have wasted several days discussing how best to placate the Lord of Storms, but my advisors can't seem to agree on anything. The Oracle's prophecy has angered Sidon. That much is clear. You are the ones who were foretold to confront the Titans and restore balance to Thyria. Therefore, I have decided that you will be the ones to decide how to resolve this crisis.
While you're all struck kind of immediately by that declaration, Gaius palms up, like, Your Majesty, this is ridiculous. The Lord of Storms has made his will entirely clear. He wishes for one and one thing only: the demolition of the Temple of the Five of Mytros. Only then will his will be placated.
Well, say we help resolve this crisis. What would be in it for us? Okay.
He's it seems like he's a pretty kind of hard to read dude. But he kind of looks down at you, Atlanta.
Well, from my time and experience, haven't heard of many heroes looking for reward for that which they are prophesied and destined to do.
Well, perhaps it's not a reward we seek, but merely information. I feel that it would be appropriate, given the circumstances. Consider it a bonus for work well done.
Speak for yourself. I've got no other profession. Don't do this job for free.
It's not just this job. You want us to do your job for you for free. The arrogance is fucking astounding.
They said. I agree.
Also, could Bucephiana quickly just scout out the room for exits?
Oh, exit.
I was going to say shiny things, and I was like, fucking.
That's a two.
Yeah.
Third one.
Can the fella lean into Caliatra and be like, do we know how to fight the Sky Guy? Or
Absolutely not.
Because I feel like I'm not sure.
I think we should just destroy the temple.
I've just been winging it this whole time.
I've been thinking about it. I have no way to attack the sky. That's my take. That's all
No,
I'm
I
doing.
can't really. I'd have to get into the sky. Now that you have dragons.
We could ride
Gaius looks down at you, Jerry. He's like,
My job is protecting this city.
Yes, and you're asking me to do it? Why the fuck should we? You ask for reverence as king for protecting the city, and now
And
you
you
come in
have
and
been
demand us
prophesied.
as the middleman?
And
No,
you
fuck
have
you.
been prophesied to lay low the Titans from where they stand. I can't think of anybody more capable.
Prophecy does not mean we have to do it.
Great king.
Oh.
Great king. Hello.
Also, your uncle technically married in.
That's true.
He does not need to know that yet. Well, the thing about prophecy is there is no mention of what incentivizes us to fulfill this prophecy. Perhaps a great bountiful reward is what causes us to fulfill this prophecy. Therefore, it's part of the prophecy. See?
Atlanta is going to elbow Bucephiana.
you see as you're kind of talking about rewards and discussions, Gaius is kind of laughs to himself. Like, vanity will be their true destruction. King, Your Majesty, I have laid out what needs must be done.
Oh, Gaius, you're such a quitter.
This is working out very well for me, actually.
Sire, of what options have been supplied to you beyond the destruction of the Temple of the Five? Which I assume, and not to put too fine a point in it, is the position that Gaius over here is holding. Am I correct?
That has been the unanimous decision by all of the officials in the Order of Sidon, yes. I am begrudged to want to have to destroy, of course, a sacred landmark of my city, and also the place of reverence to my dear darling wife.
Wait a second. It is the Stormlord Sidon who is causing all the foul weather, yes?
He is the lord of that domain.
And all the officials of the Order of Sidon are telling you to destroy the temple? I think they have vested interest, no?
I don't think that they should be sort of party to this decision making. So, of the rest of your council, have any put forward any suggestions, any courses of action?
Well,
beyond to ask the quote unquote fated heroes, that is Gladius Astra, as to what to do.
Well, I have heard tell that there are certain magics out there that have the ability to stir up and control the very skies themselves. Lady Opa, you are a professional of our own esteemed academy, are you not?
I suppose you could say that. Yes, I have
Tell me,
worked there.
as a master of the arcane arts, are you familiar with any such magics? Do you want to roll an arcana check?
You have skywrite. You have skywrite, is that it?
I do have the ability to write in the sky. That is...
Have you tried telling him to fuck off again?
In the meantime,
was a
Dave,
15.
was it 15?
15.
We'll come back to that. In the meantime, Dave, you scope out. There is obviously there's the way you came behind you. It's been closed, but it's not been locked. Like there's like it's a palace. Like it's not. There's plenty. There's like it's a palace throne room. So there are definitely a variety of like antechambers kind of off. You do distinctly see a door in the back. A small gilded door.
Ooh.
Gilded.
Can this is a movable door, can it be?
But yeah, like there's no like it definitely isn't like a room you're trapped in. However, there, as I mentioned, there are centurions lining the halls. Opa, you are certainly aware of magic. That there is, in fact, a spell he is talking about in particular. There is one that exists. It is called Control Weather, and it is an 8th level spell.
Oh, boo.
Alas, only 5th. It's not obviously said aloud.
Oh, no, 8th level is like level 10. Okay, 8th level, like spell 8th level.
I have indeed heard of magic of that caliber. However, I do regret to inform you that that is currently beyond my not inconsiderable abilities. As of this moment, at least.
Well, that is a mighty shame. You see then the blue-skinned tiefling kind of sidle up to the dais. Caliandra, roll me a history check.
Ooh. Not bad. History. And I get my check of no, I have reference in that, so 16.
He kind of sidles up and says, Sire, I believe the best way to placate the Lord of Storms isn't to come at it head on, but to bring in the intervention of his sister, who is known to bring him low. And I feel like, and
I believe the best way to get her involved is that you, Sire, should order 70 children of the city to take the black robes, as it were, and dedicate themselves to the Lady of Dreams. Of course, they will be treated to the finest luxuries Our Lady has to offer. I'm just going to send out a quick message.
Is the Lady of Dreams that scary one in the
It's
dreams?
with
That
the-
Lady of
we-
Dreams is Bucephiana.
Oh, that doesn't sound good.
His
The
sister.
fell stands behind Atlanta at the mention of this.
What do you mean the torture one?
I think it
Yes.
follows that this blue tiefling is the council from Lutheria's side, so you know,
Yeah.
King
I
Cassius
feel like all
decided
these
to
guys are
surround
real
himself
bad
with
advisors.
Can I actually,
really poor advisors.
Really poor judge of character.
when you're done, can I roll
Who's appointing these
insight
ministerial
on
positions?
the Queen?
Sign
to see
up
how
corruption
she-
in the nobility. Say it ain't so.
Come back to you.
Never.
Are they all perhaps fucking?
It's Greece. Of course they
Yeah.
are.
What else do they do?
16.
Brains?
Double checking.
Is that what we're calling it?
Yes. That's very much what we're calling it.
Me and the babes have to go. I'll go advise in the chamber. I'll talk to you all in a couple hours.
Oh, that's seems inappropriate.
Oh, that's the problem with this one?
I mean, kids.
Another
whatever,
hard
but
shift
that
in the
just
royal
seems-
bed chamber. Ugh.
People have to work in there.
Insight check.
16.
16. You see her. She has. The entire time she has been stone-faced. She has been just staring forward, listening intently, definitely thinking and considering the entire time, but saying nothing. You do spot that the moment you hear Condrus mention the children taking the black, you see her face break for a second and just shoot a look at Condrus. But very quickly she regains her composure and keeps her regal form.
Cool.
They all obviously play poker together.
When
You see, so Condrus has recommended the children taking the black robes, and Castus.
I'll make that decision for you. No.
I mean, it would be easier to break down the temple.
I agree.
But
I can
obviously,
break stone very
Jerry, we won't be doing that if possible.
We'll certainly try not to, but it's an option.
Hey, you know several of those people who are that temple's dedicated to personally.
I'm sure we can build them a new one.
I don't care if any of them know.
Two of them are in this room right now.
I don't know if I want to.
You're not a real friend.
The one that's with us as well.
I genuinely have to ask, this seems like a contravention of the agreement made between the five.
And what agreement would that be? What's it called? Wait, yeah, like this Kev, sorry, I didn't actually catch what you meant.
Well played.
The Oath of Peace, that's what it's called.
Not up yet.
This seems not to be mortal telling powers what be, but this seems like a blatant attack on what that Oath of Peace was written under. It's asking for the destruction of an old temple in the largest city. And for what? Sidon himself does not send his followers to go and do this, but he himself appears within the clouds above Mytros and rains lightning down, tormenting the populace of the city. This isn't some subterfugal act upon the followers of the Five. This is a direct contravention of it. And while I can respect that Our Lady Kira and Valis maybe would prefer not to involve themselves in it, I would seek the wisdom of the Lady of Wisdom herself on this matter.
So when you say that, a lot of things kind of happen at once.
Oh, no.
Gaius rises to just start shouting you down. Castus is just about to kind of hold him. You see Vala's kind of catch the eyes with you and look as if she's about to say something. All of this happens in a snap, but that is all broken when a small hand is raised. The young girl, the young woman, should I say, at the foot of the dais has been completely unassuming this entire time. Has been sitting there quietly. Young, fair-skinned, blonde hair.
Is she just a human?
Human woman. Kind of raises her hand, just kind of gently. If it's not my place to say, but wouldn't placating a Titan normally be done the regular way through sacrifice?
She has the right of it.
Well, that's what he was suggesting with the children.
I'd like to insight check that young lady if I can, please.
Yeah, no, hit with it.
Wait, did we do this
I would like to, just while that's
22.
happening, wink at Opa to inspire her.
You see that, it looks like there is not a bad bone in this one's body. She's got a very just innocent face and is kind of, and is frankly just confused that this hasn't been brought up sooner. Which is kind of and you can tell she's kind of she's scared to bring it up because she's in the in the presence of somebody just powerful figures of the city.
Angry men.
Angry men. But you see, Acastus look. Well, yes, Bella, it has been considered, but for a storm of this caliber, we'd need a hecatomb of a sacrifice. A sacrifice of 100 or more.
people?
70 children isn't that terrible that...
No.
Still no.
Maybe it's going.
Cattle.
Ah!
Wait.
How many do we have? Okay,
It was, of course, considered. But
if we
that
wait,
would be
they might become 70.
half of the livestock of the entire city.
Possibility of 100 cattle?
And would be
Possibilities.
a terrible expense to both the city and the crown, leaving us
If we give them a share of the
wildly in
business.
debt.
But would it not be better than tearing down a temple or
Disappear.
murdering children?
3 become very.
Well, they weren't going to murder them, they were going to enter them into a
We
cult.
have to get more.
No, they were going to be killed.
Win-win. I think win-win.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
it's
yeah, yeah,
okay.
yeah.
It was seriously
He was lying, they were going to be killed.
It is.
If he went to jail, he probably has more cattle that are not being used.
Me
If
and
we
my
take
advisors,
those from if we
my
take those
advisors
from,
and I have
we haven't figured out. Everybody come help me.
We're having a serious business meeting over in the corner.
I've come to the conclusion that we simply cannot afford the expense.
I have a suggestion. You know how you say you can't afford it, yet you live in a marble palace? What if we rent out your home as like an Airbnb for a little while till you can liquidize your assets and learn to manage your finances better so you can sacrifice what needs doing. Everyone else has to make sacrifices when they require financial purpose. If you truly are a man of the people, then you should act as one, a human being, for once in your fucking life.
Bucephiana's gonna click his hooves.
Or perhaps you merely kill 50 children and 50 cattle.
How many?
I'm not quite sure about that.
Oh my god. How long has this been the storming going? Was it?
Yeah, when do you
so
need
far?
these oxen? You can wait a couple months, years?
Look, if you need people to transport oxen, we're your guys.
The storm has already raged within upon us 3 days, causing a severe amount of trade halted in the city, already plummeting the crown back thousands. And to sink us even further into debt would be terrible for the people of this city.
We just not need to be the people of the city. Why don't you sell that nice armor you're wearing? How about that?
Surely, if you sacrifice half the oxen to relieve the storm earlier, then you could get back into trade quicker and therefore make up your losses
Like
sooner.
a payment plan.
It's a trade city. There's a bunch of stock waiting
Your
in the
trade
docks.
is being disrupted for 3 days. 3! You have plenty of oxen sitting around waiting to be traded. This can be commandeered as a tax from the traders.
Oh my god.
I have a question.
Each of them raise a
Justifiable, I believe.
incredibly valid point.
Yeah, everyone's point is
just,
incredibly valid.
I don't know if this will be of any help to any of us, but do they have like a thing for oxen or children or both? Why can it not be
Cash money.
Rats?
Old
Or
people
ra-
close to
what?
death anyway.
Rats?
or rats?
Plenty of rats.
Or
I can tell you for certainty. As many rats to sacrifice in this Stygian row. Plenty.
what about
You leave for cast a
what about the satyr horns?
What?
What?
Just because they grow back.
They are very protective of them.
I know a good few satyrs.
How long does it take to
yours
grow
broken?
back?
I'm sure you could ask my dear wife,
just
or even the
so
deity in your companionship,
There's a what?
that sacrifice has to be meaningful, has to be of something of worth.
Well,
Rats are not going to
You
cut.
don't care about your rats?
Wow.
I had one, I named him.
Your Highness, are you not the King of the Dragons?
I'm
Would
sure
you not
3 dragons
consider
is enough for 100
sacrificing-
cattle.
Yes, that sounds a very
dragon.
appropriate sacrifice.
Yes, I know of one fucking dragon that would be sacrificed.
See,
It is merely a
He's
suggestion,
lowball.
my
He's
lord.
lowball. But then we go.
See, starting a conversation.
I'd like to inspire Adelanton as well.
The dragons are only newly found,
And thus a more powerful sacrifice.
and thus a rarer commodity that
Commodification,
will
that's
not be
it.
sacrificed.
Why? Because it's important to you?
Because it is important for the savior of this realm.
I thought, wait, excuse me, I might be
I thought
incorrect,
that
but
was
we're not
us.
just saying a moment ago that we were the ones saving, and if it's our decision, we decide that it's that. How about that?
Oh, that's a
my
good point.
goodness.
Consider it insurance. In case.
Oh, you don't
the-
think you could take the fight by yourself? Is that it?
In case the sea is incorrect about this oath, I need something to man the city walls when
A dragon?
Sidon's hordes come rushing my city.
Well, if you want us
I
to
don't
do
think
You're such a
that,
good fighter, can't you do it by yourself, or are you incompetent?
All the while.
Atalanta's gonna like put a hand on Jury and just be like,
While
I'm so strong
you
here.
can see like a castus is starting to kind of bubble over. While there's a lot of kind of while you're all kind of discussing, Valus stands. Doesn't say anything. Steps down from the dais. Ignores Acastus as he goes to say something and walks directly up to the 7 of you.
Oh my god.
Is this where Bucephiana dies?
Bow, bow, bow.
Oh, Bucephiana's gonna go like
Late confirmation for every
Like hind legs stand up like
so many years
Heroes
of
of
birthday back
prophecy.
pay.
Oh, it's just...
I greet you. I am Valis of the Five Gods. For centuries, the people of Mytros have revered me as a goddess of wisdom. Mortal kings once travelled from across the Cerulean Gulf seeking my counsel, but as you can see, my husband prefers to consult with fools and concubines.
Yeah, it sure seems like it does.
She kind of shoots Kira a look.
Wow.
We gods
trouble in
are
paradise.
capable of saving the city. Joined together, the four of us can weave a spell to counter Sidon's magic. Such a miracle will require a sacrifice of our power, but I will do what must be done to protect my city. But the others will need to be persuaded. She turns to Acasta. She is standing straight up. She looks up at the dais, eye contact completely. Your Majesty, I am sent a summons now to request the audience of both Pythor and Vulcan at the palace post haste. Heroes, I believe you have had plenty of dealings with my father and brother. I can think of no one better to try and convince them to save my city. This council is adjourned. She's kind of side-eyeing Gaius. You see him kind of huff. You rabble will have your time. And he storms out one of the side passages. For those of you that like kind of even just kind of catch a glance, you see Condrus just skulk off through a dark corner.
I'm watching him.
I like him.
I have just a mild suggestion on before we go doing something so drastic as getting the four of ye to sacrifice your powers. Your city has been around a great deal of time, and I have wandered all over this fair mother world of ours, and Mytros is known everywhere. Sometimes beloved, sometimes seen as good ally. If needs be that ye are in need of sacrifice, call upon your allies. If it would damn your city to ruin to do this by yourself, then why do that by yourself? You ask that you call upon your brother and your father, and while that is noble, the people of this land will still require wisdom, they will still require a muse, they will still require inspiration.
Mr. Sopa, I see where you're coming from. It isn't, we're not sacrificing ourselves for you. I will still be the city's queen at the end of it. Kira will still be performing in ballads across the continent. Vulcan will still be smithing all of the most glorious weapons known to mankind. And Pythor will still be doing what Pythor does.
Bucephiana points to his chest.
And as for allies, well, we've heard the news from Astoria of the Week of Revelry. They are in no position to offer the aid we require, and Arita have been having their own conflicts recently, and calling anyone past the Cerulean Gulf is, well,
It's not tenable.
it's not tenable. Given the storm's magnitude, sailing into this port is near impossible.
Pardon me. Might I inquire your willingness to sacrifice your powers? Over 100 oxen. I feel like there is a difference in value And one is considerably more valuable than the other, and it is not the oxen.
And one is mysteriously more valued by your husband.
Yeah, the
I still think the dragons are an option.
The horns? Did we give it enough
I
thought
don't
to
think
the
they.
I mean,
Yeah, sure,
Astoria has at least 30 oxen. We could have got.
You see, while like this kind of just finishing out the fire back up, Sarcastus kind of stands like, as the Queen has said, this council has been adjourned. You will of course all be given room and board in the palace while the storm is still ravaging outside. And he steps down from the back of the steps down the past his throne, down the back of the dais, and you see Bella stand and follow him down through the door in the back room. As the door closes, Valis Tarkon will show you to your accommodation.
You care to weigh in on the dragon question? Or shall you avoid that like your terrible husband?
The dragons are rare and valuable. They are
Like divinity?
an incredibly limited resource.
Oxen, not so much.
Yeah, I think I'm still down with oxen. Astoria, at least her.
As my husband has mentioned, the crown simply cannot afford it.
This makes no sense.
Mortgage for a castle. I don't know what your problem is. You cannot live in a palace and cry poverty.
Can I insight check if she likes her husband? I'm not understanding the vibe.
It was an inside check.
Can I inside check if she really can't afford it?
Yeah.
Can
I see you wearing a crown money bag. Top it up.
I only got a 7.
You read
Can I?
nothing.
Can I roll for it?
Yeah.
Can I roll specifically
Roll
for
for narrow
insight on her
problems.
dragon, on the dragon
19,
situation?
Is that for perception?
Insight.
Don't forget your inspired.
Inside. It's under wisdom.
Or inspired? Okay.
That's
Yeah, so
17.
that's 17. So what does inspired do again? Like
You're
how
not
much?
inspired.
Oh, no?
No.
Oh, okay, so that's
Open a
17
double
anyway.
entry.
17, 19. None of you are reading anything.
God damn it.
She,
Fuck's sake.
you can tell this is a woman that is used to. This woman has the strongest poker face you'll ever seen.
I would like to make my face very clear that I pity her situation.
As I said, Tarkon will show you to your accommodation. When you are settled in, I request that you visit my villa.
Ooh.
There's much I'd like to discuss with you all. And you see then she kind of moves off to another antechamber. There was some ladies in waiting, kind of hanging off that, and they follow her back. And you see Tarkon, kind of walks forward.
So Tarkon, old buddy, you're gonna show us around the place or what?
You know, I don't think a tour is quite up on the registry yet. But we do have a villa set aside for you.
Woo!
Now, follow me. And so he leads you then through one of the side doors in the throne room, down a number of corridors, eventually leading you to a couple of corridors, then leading to a separate building. You have to kind of rush through a rooftop, kind of slightly outdoor section, and you are now in a large apartment. You walk in. There's a commons area. There is an upstairs with a variety of bedrooms. It's a very comfortable living.
Are there people there besides us?
And the fella's not going to be able to sleep under the sky, is he?
Oh,
Not
no.
tonight.
Is there a balcony?
Not unless you want to get very wet.
there.
Oh, yeah.
Would he kill me? Is my real question.
Say that like that's not part of his
It's
whole
cloudy
thing.
anyway.
Are there people in the villa other than us?
It doesn't look to be. Yeah, there was
Private
obviously
villa. Cows
Not-
too much. Private villa, no problem.
not
This is what I'm saying.
doesn't
Rent
look
this out.
not immediate. Like, you don't see anyone like in the villa. There was definitely guards like posted kind of out and around because you're in the palace complex. But no one in the villa. Aside from Tarkov right now, but yes, of course, make yourselves comfortable. Obviously, it's been a rough ride getting here. Some more comfortable than others.
Wink.
There's a bell on the door. There's a bell on the far wall if you require any service.
Nice.
You bring him
We
That's what I was thinking.
There's a bell.
Darko. My friend.
I love the hands up.
Hello. Raise a hoof.
He's got hands.
Might I inquire just before you leave? Do we have any use of the grounds, or are there any specific restricted areas?
Is there a curfew?
Anywhere we can stretch our hooves?
I think at the
Yes,
moment
yes.
it would be best if you keep to the apartment particularly while the storm's raging. Obviously the outdoors are perilous.
But we're
And
allowed
also-
to leave though, right?
It's also just a wreck. You can leave the palace, of course, but
Will we get back in?
yes, of course, there
Can I
is
get a key?
nothing in the. No, there's no key necessary. There are guards posted, and you're all, of course, very well known in the city already. But during the, but of course, while the storm is raging, nowhere is open.
And at
as
what
we are
time
all-
does the storm rage, Betty?
24/7. And of course the
Fiddle sticks.
Let's only be
And of course, as
days
we've-
if it let up on Wednesday.
and of course
I heard 7 was the last.
as I think we've all noticed, simply walking the streets seems to be perilous. So for your own sake, I'd recommend lying low.
Where are you staying? Just if we need, contact.
The Dragon Lords have their own villa off the back of the complex.
What have you this here?
Private
Oh, we can't afford $100.
If
Is that what the dragons are? Can we pet the dragons?
Yeah, are there ones inside the villa also?
if you wish to see the dragons, we can arrange a visit. It is late. I think it's best that we all take a bit of our good night. And he lets himself out.
I'm going to nickname this city the Stormy City. It's going to catch on.
No, it's not. No, you're not doing that.
I heard of one place they tried to call the Windy City. No one took to it.
This is different.
No, okay.
It's like when they tried to rename it Mytros Quarter. Oh, disgusting.
Remember that time they tried to rebrand the Stygian Road to the very nice road?
However, this is going to be different. I can feel it in my hooves.
Not to bring down the vibe, am I the only one who thought that went incredibly poorly?
No,
Parts of it went very
I
well.
think that was quite right.
No one started a fight with
You, my
Jerry.
friend, I'm
was
so
right.
proud you did not die. It was incredible.
Oh.
I was sure at some point.
Yes, might you have some possible issues with the current administration in the city?
I thought you said that was my best quality. I'm not talking to you.
Shit.
That is
Where's your arbitrary?
Where's your business? We need to talk on track.
Oh my.
Don't ask him questions. He's sensitive.
Oh, God.
right now.
Clearly.
You alright?
Jury, I think in particular, you notice that Kira hasn't said anything really the entire time, and
Oh, I
Just
look.
kinda-
I do. Oh shit! I forgot she's here. Can I do an insight check to see if she's still proud of me?
you continue with an insight check. You see she kind of just sits herself down, just kind of in one of the chairs in the corner, and just kind of looking into her hands.
Did I get any? Does she count as on the oath of friendship on the advantage on insight
No.
checks?
No.
Oh,
He's
these.
not our friend. How
That's
rude.
just 7 of you.
Oh, but she's
12.
Busephiane's mate.
Um,
Bucephane.
you definitely get the feeling that she is stressed out.
Yeah.
Like
What about me?
talk.
In general, that's whatever. Is she mad at
She-
me?
you don't get any sort of like, you know, it's like it doesn't feel like there's any sort of like that she's really thinking anything particular about you or any mood. But like you can tell us that she is like her mind. You can tell her mind is just racing.
Oh yeah, getting rid of her temple probably is a big boner.
I think
Kara?
also getting rid of her powers would be pretty.
Oh yeah.
Is that like a permanent debuff or like temporary? Do you think?
It feels like it'd be.
I'm gonna go over and shake your.
Shake.
How are you feeling?
Well, I mean, I think it's fair to say it's been a day.
It's been a hot 10 minutes.
Hot 10 minutes. Here with me thinking the Griffin was going to be the most exciting part of the day.
Which was a very exciting Griffin.
It was a very exciting Griffin.
My God, that was today.
So is it like a permanent debuff or like would you get your powers back? Or do you know?
It's hard to say.
Would you like lose your voice? or-
We've never done anything quite like this before.
Oh, so do you even know if you can pull it off?
As Valis said it. You know, the funny thing, I think I've mentioned this. Being a god is a funny thing. I'm not even quite fully aware of the extent of my powers.
Well, it's not much.
Jesus.
Doesn't even have greater restoration. I love her, but come on.
Nafel does a loud cough to cover up,
I'm imagining that the worms are always like.
like a beat.
When Valis said that this was something the Forbes could achieve, something deep down inside me sparked and affirmed what she said. I'm not fully aware of the consequences, or even if it's something I'm willing to give up.
Yes, she did
But-
really volunteer you without your consent.
In fact, she only asked us to convince Pythor and Vulcan.
She
So
kind of assumed you'd be.
You're already on board.
I think there was a lot of insinuation. Valis, she thinks she's clever. She's not good at communicating.
Kira,
Clever people rarely are.
Kira, if your sacrifice of your powers, yours, Pythor's, Vulcan's, and the other not
Only
so good
there's-
communicators.
There's only Valis. There's only the four of us.
Mytros is a tree right now.
Is there a possibility that you are not just sacrificing them, you are in fact transferring them to Sidon?
I was going to say, even if you do sacrifice them, isn't it bad that Sidon's going to just stop storming the city, but just keep doing whatever he wants?
That's exactly it. It's exactly as what happened when we were in Astoria. If we are to kowtow to their demands, then what's to stop them from doing this again in another city to another group of people?
We
It is
burned down
rather
Sidon's temple.
short-sighted.
Peace on the ashes!
I think this is a this is definitely different than taking the place of Honora. As I said, I don't quite fully understand what would be given and what would be taken and what would be dealt, but make no mistake, 4 of us combining our powers to waylay a storm put on by him will certainly deal a significant blow to if not him physically, certainly his pride. I believe that we definitely harm him. To the extent physically, mentally, I'm unclear, but this wouldn't be a simple 4 deities combining their powers in a spark to change the nature of the world itself isn't a slap on the wrist.
So this would harm Sidon.
Potentially.
Could you maybe wait until we're all ready to get him?
Fight him.
My fear is that the moment that happens, the moment that even if by some chance you manage to kill Sidon using this, you manage to depower him and get rid of him, and all of you lose your powers, what is to stop? At that point, you will have no power left. And I don't say that to discourage or denigrate you or your family. What is to stop Letheria?
Yeah.
At that point, the Oath of Peace is just an agreement that was made 500 odd years ago.
Sure, they're already
and it's enforced by what? By the mortals that have... By the 5 that have been depowered, that have been defanged, that are unable to do anything else to protect the rest. And even... I bring this up because when I'm talking about doing this, we could destroy Sidon. You could potentially destroy him. But at what cost?
You asked what... If I were to depower Sidon, you ask what would stop him from doing this again.
What would stop Letheria from going about this?
She's
Would you power it out the storm?
She's really
The Oath of
scary.
Peace?
The answer is what I have believed since I first talked to Versian in the depths of her temple.
Oh, please don't say us.
Callie, you really knew how to break a mood.
I'm being the mood, actually.
Really broken flow.
There you go. You're thrown off for grief.
I truly
Kira's new groove.
believe that the 7 of you are what will stop this. You
Could you wait until we get to like level 8?
And have like at least
You wait
200
till Owen
options.
casts that spell.
To these options, figure it out.
we are certainly
Could the people of Mytros move out on a holiday temporarily until we...
The train has stopped.
Get some less raincoats, I don't know.
Yeah.
New life under the sea.
the 4 of us, myself, Valis, Pythor, Vulcan, and my mother Mytros, we stopped the Titans once. We pushed them back. We gave this world 500 years of peace. And we've enjoyed that peace. I think our time is coming to an end. And I think as the ones who brought it in, our duty now is to help in the ushering in of the next heroes.
Bucephiana's gonna slip on his sneaking. Sneaking pillows. Put up his sneaking cowl.
And by my time is coming to an end, I don't think I'm going to die, but I'm still a god. I think I'm still pretty immortal.
For now.
Everyone's alive until they're not.
Atalanta's motto.
It's working out for so far.
No, I've been told that I'm my worst enemy sometimes, and
That's me.
I think I've just talked myself into this.
Oh, god damn it.
I'm great at inspiring people.
But you're just gonna me?
Bardic inspiration.
Perhaps we should let you talk
I
to your
guess
father and
maybe,
brother.
yes, maybe if you bring up the idea of, like, say, renting out some of these villas, maybe then we can go, maybe sell a few assets. I saw there's a couple
Like-
nice paintings in the back, like,
I think Sidon himself would pay top dollar for this place. It's pretty sweet.
Who's Bella,
yes,
by the way?
timeshare.
What?
Who's Bella?
Bella is a PA of sorts.
Ah, she's concubine.
A mistress.
Secretary.
Oh,
I
they
have
were
a
so
follow-
subtle.
I have a
They'd be so
follow-
surprised.
I have a
No
follow-up
trouble in
question.
paradise. What will the papers say?
Why
You'll
is
never guess
your
how it
sister?
ends.
Why is she with this man? Surely a goddess of wisdom would be wiser.
Yeah.
Your guess is as good as mine.
My guess is he tricked her somehow, and I will get to the bottom of
I
it.
was starting to think that Atalanta and Jury are right.
I'm starting to think so. I
Myself.
did not like the
I'll help
disrespect.
them.
I mean, like, something like I'll never settle down with anyone. I think we've been doing pretty great. I've never tried to understand my sister. She's done a lot of good in this world. I'll never try to understand her decisions. I'm just.
Even
Maybe
like where,
he cooks for
where
her?
was all her friends in that room? He had like his concubine and his two weird sleazy guys. She just
I'll tell you one thing. Acastus. He did. I wouldn't call Condrus or Gaius friends to Acastus.
I would.
What would you call them? Why would he listen to them?
Were they like elected by the city?
That's a bad
In a way,
city.
actually.
city?
In a sense.
We should let the city die.
Where are these
However,
fucking Sidon
you're,
dickheads coming from?
You're not
Seriously.
actually too wrong. In a sense, they are speaking to the best interest of a significant amount of the population of this city. Both the Cult of the Theory and the Temple of Sidon have a significant following among the
I
populace.
wouldn't do anything about that.
You know, maybe instead of knocking
They are-
down the Temple of the Five, we should knock down the Temple of Sidon to teach them a lesson.
Knock
Yes,
down
it's
all
an
the
excellent
temples.
plan. We should
Why
do
are
it
there
right
so many
now.
temples?
I've got my
Burning on the
axe.
ashes.
Let's just go on a temple run.
Why is he
Yeah,
able to demand this of this city?
yeah.
The big storm.
Toxic
that's-
god behavior.
It's not that I genuinely cannot understand. They're not supposed to interfere directly. This is him interfering directly, isn't it?
Well, yes. Did you not see Busephia's ass?
I try not to, but it's so big.
This is right there.
Hey. Keep your eyes to yourself.
The Titans have always been conniving and duplicitous.
I understand that.
Totally. They have worked to circumnavigate the rules without actively breaking the oath for decades. I won't deny it. That's me. But as with the oath you all hold personally among yourselves, some rules bear deeper magics in this earth than even me, my father, and my siblings have any sway over. If it's a law of nature. If the universe itself has not yet deigned that Sidon's interventions break the oath, then he continues walking. The oath dictates in no uncertain terms peace. And I think it's definitely considered that as the time to the oath's end comes closer, the oath itself deteriorates. And I think that is why he is able to push its boundaries without actively announcing open war on the walls of Mytros.
May I ask, just for clarification, should he break the oath, what would be the consequences for him?
Oh, you're saying we provoke him?
I'm not saying.
I could provoke him.
You could provoke anybody.
Thank you.
Breaking oaths is a universal folly. You would be condemned. I mean, if someone is Sidon's power would be condemned to, frankly, eternal damnation.
What could
But
Sidon do to break the oath?
Start war.
declare open war on the kingdoms of Thylia.
What if he attacked one of you? Would that break it?
Would that be akin to declaring open war on
No, I can
the
disguise you very well.
Or attacked the king.
I think it has to be one of them.
Or attack the city?
Because we could do like a...
It's
Or
fine to
attack
attack
one of the
the city.
successors.
If he's being tricksy, could we be tricksy?
We can absolutely be
Cast
tricked.
straight up wants to just tie Costas to a rock.
And maybe cast an illusion on him and then you get hit by lightning.
They're happy to hit us. So
I'm just
If
trying
you
to
look
save
like
your
one of
sister
us-
from a bad marriage. That's my MO.
I'm loving the creativity here. This is all wonderfully conniving. Sidon is intelligent. I think he'd see through a minor illusion like that. He would
what is that an
know,
illusion? Makeup.
he would know better than to
I can give him a fake mustache.
do anything that would outright break the oath. And even if you made up someone, no matter how much you made up someone, he still has a sister in tow who will.
Yeah, I don't like her.
Yes, she's the worst.
No, nobody.
It
Yeah,
literally
she's-
is.
I think it is.
Terrifies me, to be honest.
Yeah.
And this we can all agree.
I think it best not to get down to their level.
Okay.
I mean, we are meant to kill them at some stage, right? That
Well,
seems like...
I
So
think
says
it
the
is
prophecy.
noble to try to take the high road when your opponent refuses to do so. When the rules are moot, when your opponent refuses to act in the same way, you don't set a better example by being like, well, I'm going to play it straight and by the rules, and when everything goes to shit and the world ends, at least I can say that I didn't contravene the dignity of it all.
At the very least, we aren't sacrificing children.
Kev, at this point, can Bucephiana just stealth out of the room?
We're all having a conversation together.
You are going to
I'm
have
actually
to
just
beat-
stepping out of the circle and just like.
I think in that case you're going to have to beat literal perception check small 6 then.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
Well, 7. I think like Kira's probably she's talking too. I'm like we're all.
Oh, by the way, I gave you both epic.
Ah!
I gave you both epic foresight,
Okay,
which is a plus
okay.
5 to perception.
I mean, they could do
Yeah,
really
Okay,
piss
cool.
poor rolls. So that-
Which I will double
Oh,
check.
there's a passive perception, no?
How much do you have?
I got a 6.
What's your roll?
Wait,
Oh, we have to be-
He rolled 5.
Oh, you rolled.
Passive perception
Yeah,
increases
yeah,
by
but-
Oh my god!
You haven't had my fucking bonuses yet, Rebecca.
That's a 21 for Opa anyway.
25.
26 for Nefel.
13. Piss.
I mean, Nefel's not going to say anything.
I like these two will. The
I won't
Royals
say
will.
anything either. Bucephiana just does this. If he
Yeah, just
disappears,
like-
he disappears.
Yeah, Bucephiana's just gonna like whoop out the door.
Just walk out. No one's going to stop you.
Everyone
Just
assumes
walk
he's
away.
going for a leak, like.
Yeah, you just need to... It's been a
With
lot.
his
It's been a
Sneaking
lot
tops and
today.
his sneaking Carol on. Sorry.
Lady, may I ask another
Free
favor of you?
I was just going to take a
Would
nap
you-
right now to get our inspirations back.
Would you at least consider asking them to see if you can beseech them on their level? I would ask if you would consider beseeching them on your sister and her husband on their level about
Well,
about making some cuts to their lifestyle in order to maintain this. The reason they are paid so well and so highly is because they protect the people of this city. If they are no longer doing that, that's what the pay cut is for. You know.
It does seem rather ridiculous that 100 oxen is in the way of...
Listen, we are in the business of oxen. They're not worth that
This is
much.
exactly what Bucephiana's trying to find out. He is looking for some financial documents.
Do you want to coach?
That's actually a really good point.
I'll
It's not that much.
It's not.
Pythor had 30 at hand.
This is on you, Kev, for saying 100.
I'll think on it. I'm going to go to bed. It's been a long day of traveling and
talking.
looking at my brother-in-law. I'm going to bed.
Looking at him is toxic.
Can I grab her arm before she, not grab, but like, touch her arm and be like, hey, just maybe think about it a little bit more. It would be an incredibly brave and noble thing for you and your siblings to do, but it wouldn't just affect you guys. Your sacrifice might help, but it might also leave us vulnerable further down the line.
I'll definitely consider it. Thank you.
No pressure.
She goes and closes the door. Is there anything anybody wants to do before you guys take a long rest?
I'm sneaking around looking for administrative quarters.
Oh my god.
Okay, we are going to come back to that then, because I think we're going to take a break.
It's okay, long rest.
When we get back, before we take a long rest, I want to go back to. I want to go across the street to the temple and get a bunch of my shit.
Atlantis is going to follow Jury.
Oh no. I used to live
Right.
there, so I have things there.
Oh, right. Oh, wrong break?
Do
No? Yeah, break. Yeah, cut break. Yeah, great. So, we're back in the apartment. Kira has just gone to bed. I know Bucephiana and Jury, you want to do some stuff. So, Bucephiana, you want to...
Yeah, man, Bucephiana's at the door.
You walk out. You open the door and you are just hit with galing wind and rain howling through your ears.
It's howling.
A guard who's kind of posted nearby kind of comes up to you. Yes, can I help you, Master Bucephiana?
I am looking for the toilet.
There's one in your apartment.
The little horse's room. Points at his big butt.
The apartment is fully equipped for all races.
What does that even look like?
How progressive.
It's like a nesting doll toilet.
Tell him you've already clogged one in our apartment.
It's blocked.
Oh, my apologies. We'll get someone out there to fix that up quickly.
The plumber, go get him now.
One toilet in the whole village.
This
place is
Ah!
Oh my god, that's a 2.
Plus.
Which is what he needs to make.
Plus 10.
8.
That's a 10.
Yeah, he calls over to another girl. Hey, Pele, let's just get a plumber down here. Apparently the apartment thing is clogged. Okay. And he kind of runs. Then another soldier runs off to get a plumber. This guy's like, is there anything else I can help you with?
No, I'm taking a stroll. Smells.
Okay, be careful. It's everything.
Oh! Thank you.
Be careful. I heard you had an incident on the way into the city.
Embarrassing. Yeah, I killed a griffin. It was very cool. See you.
No, I was talking with the light.
I know what you're talking about. 17 of you just wander off.
You wander off now. You are again howling wind. You're already sodden through. You're wearing a cloak, but that's even just soaked through. It is a heavy storm. Lightning is flashing just around the city. On a pretty consistent level. But as you walk around, you are definitely talking there's guards posted pretty consistently around the place.
Anything look like sort of an administrative quarter?
Roll me an investigation check.
7.
You don't see anything. It's a palace. Things aren't exactly labeled. You make your way then kind of into the grand hall, the main foyer. And there's definitely a lot of kind of rooms and corridors leading to various points. Obviously, the main one is the throne room in the center. But this is a palace you have never been in before. There is no signposting.
Oh shit.
And as you're in the foyer, then another guard kind of walks up and says,
Stephanie's going to hide in the shadows.
Probably a stealth
Just
check.
wait in the main foyer.
You need to check the papers to check the economy.
Good one.
You were invited here.
That is 9. 9. Wait, no, that's wrong. That's 4.
5 plus 4.
13. 5 plus 8.
Anywhere you go, there is a guard in Island. They you are looking out for any kind of hidden alcoves. This place is stacked. There's no hiding.
Okay, so you said just. Is guard still approaching him?
Not approaching. No, I was gonna say while you were in the foyer, guard's gonna approach, but you're kind of moving around. If you're gonna head back, that's fine. Yeah. So you head back to the apartment.
Yeah. He's gonna. Can he find some sort of alcove that is not directly in their window or range, and just sort of chill there for a little bit, a little hidden, outside the apartment?
There's a small
A smoking area.
yeah, there's kind of a small gazebo against a wall that isn't like you're still getting the bust of the wind, but there's no it's one of the few places that seem to be like outdoors and not getting pelted with rain.
Okay, Bucephiana is going to chill there and just listen out for any happenings about the palace.
Jury, you wanted to head
Across the street.
across the street. See
Alonta was gonna follow with it.
Oh, Jury, Grant, you well, first thing you head out of the apartment and that same guard after Stephanie. It's like Masters, Jury and Atlanta. What?
Oh no, Atalanta's like a few paces behind. As in, like, Jury leaves, and then a few minutes later she notices he's gone and goes to follow him.
Master Jury, what can I do for you this evening?
Nothing. I'm leaving. I'm going to go get my shit.
Where's your shit?
Across the street, in the temple.
Oh, the temple's locked off at the moment with the storms.
I live there. No, they have to let me in.
I don't think there's anyone there right now. The city's in a state of emergency. Everyone's been.
Yeah, but people live there. Like, where's everyone if they're not, in the place where they live and work and supposedly dedicated their life to, for the promise of... It's fine, I'll come back tomorrow. It will be open tomorrow, no?
If the storm is still raging,
Come fetch me when it opens. Don't hesitate.
right away.
And I stomp back to the apartment, and I was wearing like linen pants and like a shirt. Fucking oh my god, like a dog, just awful.
Right before you go into the apartment, Atalanta kind of comes back from behind you and taps you like that.
Fuck.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to startle you. What is so important in the temple that you must leave?
I'm not leaving. I have my things there.
Why don't we go get them?
It's closed.
So? I'm sure it has windows.
It can wait until tomorrow.
Are you sure? I am very good at giving a leg up.
We can get it tomorrow. It's fine. It's nothing important. It's just my things.
Yes, but surely your possessions are of importance to you. Where I come from, we don't have many possessions, but those that we do have, we treasure. And I would hate to think that you have lost yours.
Atalanta, if they're... Alicia, I do not know the truth of whether it's been closed off or not, but if I'm going back to the place where I have spent most of my life, and the guards are telling me, no, you can't go in anymore, I'm taking that as a pretty firm declaration of what my standing is there. Technically, most of what I own belongs to the temple anyway, but I just thought maybe it's not important now anyway. I just have some blankets and things that I wanted to see again, but we can get it afterwards.
Well, if you are sure, but should you change your mind, do let me know.
Thank you.
I'm just gonna head off and find that guard.
Oh.
Which guard?
The one that Jerry was just talking to.
He's the guy that's right outside the door. There's a guard. So if you you head out the door, he's like, Master Atlanta, how can I help you?
Hi, I was just inquiring. There's a temple nearby, and I was wondering if I could take a look at it.
Which temple? We're in the Palace District. There's the Temple of the Five. There's the Temple of Sidon.
The Five, of course.
All of the major public buildings are closed off with the storm right now.
Oh, but surely not to the heroes.
Go
If
have a look at
anything, we can protect ourselves. And I know it is an awful trouble to ask of you, sir, but As one of the most prestigious guards of the palace, surely you would be able to pull some strings.
Strings or not, they're the head priests of the palace. Locked and barred all the doors to keep the place safe during the hurricane.
And where do these priests reside then?
In their private domiciles.
It's such a shame. It would take, it would be quite a favor should I be able to get in there.
I know this guard is the same one that
You're
she's trying to
still
shout. Wait a minute!
I do, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't
It
know if
seems
that does
familiar.
have it.
You're still inspired and it runs out in 10 minutes.
What's inspired? Okay,
Kat,
what,
do you have
that's
the
D8.
the player's
And
handbook?
if this
Oh, sorry,
fails,
yeah,
cast
yeah.
charm.
Can you pass me the player's handbook for Odyssey?
Oh yeah.
I just wanted to check this in case it gives you any sort of benefit on this.
I actually want to do something as well when Atlantis dies.
I think this makes me hot as fuck, but
But that's true, but like the
Oh yeah, no, oh sorry, is it an imp?
enthralling beauty, yeah.
Yeah, hold on, I think I have it printed out. Yeah, you, I think it's you have proficiency in persuasion. Additionally, when you can cast a charm spell once, you have the trait.
Charm person once with this trait and regain the ability to do so on a short or long rest.
Yeah.
Ooh, I'm going to take a long rest. Okay. So how do I cast that thing? Use my charisma
I
modifier.
have charm here. Yeah, charm's in the bottom corner.
Oh yes, I'm going to try and charm this young lad. Okay.
Okay. No, that's me that has to roll. Again, fair warning. When the spell
cards are falling
ends,
out.
it will know you charmed.
What's it gonna do about it?
What's this guy gonna do about it? Where the fuck are heroes?
Oh god, now I've got
It's just a natural side effect of
I'm being run now.
yeah.
If I was this guy, I wouldn't go accusing the famous Gladius Astra of anything.
It'd probably just be a chicken away.
It rolls 17. He rolls 17. Against your spellcasting ability score,
Charisma.
which
That's definitely higher than
that's gonna definitely be higher.
Whoa. Yeah. I don't even have it written down, so I guess it's not that high.
the maximum you could have at our current level is 16 anyway.
Well, boo earns. So I can't do a persuasion check then, no?
No, you can still do the persuasion check. But like you try to cast a spell and you kind of see his kind of like you see him kind of like
rolls.
kind of look a little
I
kind of
managed
like
to get a 0 on that.
dizzy for a sec, and then she kind of chops it. You can see he kind of chops it to the lens. There's no one in the temple. The high priests are all hunkering down while the storm ravages on.
It is late, I suppose. Thank you. I will retire.
Right, good night.
This guard is doing a good job.
He's definitely gay.
Damn it!
What you reading about?
Drew wasn't trying to either.
Yeah.
And Fel, you want to do something?
If I wants to try something to see, it might not work. He'd like to.
Kelly's taking a nap.
I'm so upset.
Nafel would like to, before going
Maybe they
to
should do
bed, try to cast clairvoyance.
Yeah. So what's the rundown on clairvoyance?
I cast in time 10 minutes and lasts for 10 minutes. The range is a mile. So I create an invisible sensor within range in a location familiar to you, a place I have visited or seen before. I'd like to put it in the chamber we were in with the king and the queen and everyone.
Yeah.
But like beside the door that I saw the king leave through, just in case. I blah 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 blah. It's behind the door or in an obvious location that is unfamiliar, just behind the door. Actually, behind the door that they walked into, the king walked into. That would be great. The sensor remains in place for the duration 10 minutes, and it can't be attacked or otherwise interfaced with. It's also invisible. When you cast a spell, you choose seeing or hearing. I would like hearing. You can use a chosen sense through the sensor as if it were in its space. As an action, I can also switch between seeing and hearing. Actually, I'll do seeing first, see if anyone's in there, and then if there is. So yeah, to the chamber.
Installing a CCTV.
Basically.
Just for 10 minutes. Just
Just for 10 minutes. If he's
Ah,
cast a spell for 10 minutes, I'm going to put a blanket around him.
Oh god.
A small starry glistening appears in behind that door.
Invisible.
It would be starry to Nefel.
That's it's invisible to everyone. That's very important. No one can see it.
No one else sees it, but from the point of an omnipotent god being,
or actually, this
She's not going to come to the villa. It's fine.
Oh, I think it's one of those material focus. I need 100 GP. A focus for at least 100. I have a focus, but I won't sort that much. Never mind. Maybe I shouldn't do it. Hold on, let me check what I have.
You can nick mine.
I can nick yours.
Mine is now worth 310 because of the charm I added to it.
Would
He
Nefel
doesn't even
know
know it's
that?
not his. He's just like,
No.
Just borrow it.
Probably not.
I mean, like, he's props you, and he's like, oh, I feel like maybe opens would work better. Thanks. Just borrow
Maybe
it.
Nefel tries to cast it, it doesn't work, and then he goes to Opa like, why won't it work?
Oh.
I don't understand material goods.
If I had to
Well,
get
if
that
you-
much going.
If you can't do it alone, we could try to do it together.
I just think it would be good to maybe try and get a bigger insight into some of the people we're dealing with here. Yeah.
Cast your judgment. So,
And then I would like to try again, please. Like, do seeing first to see if there's anybody in there.
You see, it's not immediately another room. It is a corridor,
Okay.
and all you see at the end then is just another guard posted.
Okay. I'm gonna say that I used one of my level 3 spell slots. Could I end the spell and cast it again and go behind the fancy door? Wasn't there another fancy door? In the
Yeah, you
room?
said there was a gilded door at the end of the room.
Oh, I thought that was the one you were saying, because there was the one. Because there was that's the one he went through. There was the door
Okay.
behind the throne.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
I thought there was 2 different doors.
No,
Okay.
like that's the thing. There was a variety of kind of doors off the side that like Gaius and Condrus and you guys and Valos all went through.
In
There's
the hallway, I can see. Is there an obvious, very fancy door at the end of the hallway or along the sides?
Yeah, like there's another door with 2 guards posted out.
I end the spell. Cast it again behind that door.
All these guards are leaving Nefel alone.
It's
Nefel
it's
is-
a level 3
Nefel is
spell. I have
remote
3
viewing
spells.
right
Yeah, I have 3.
Some
Yeah.
silent fishership.
I have 2 actually. This is my second
Okay,
one.
that's fine then. Sorry, go ahead.
No, I have 2. That's great. He's back there, huh?
Oh, please tell me it's
Oh, you're going to watch them having a
not some
domestic.
super raunchy sex.
Not with Alice, at least.
Look back there
No.
and you see a bedroom.
Uh-oh.
No noise, because you know.
I'm just seeing.
Oh, see what worse.
Very royally decked out. Kind of look at the lay of the land.
Bouncing butt.
Very kind of royally decked out. You see like a large desk with a lot of papers kind of on it. You see a large kind of closet over to the side. Lots of different kind of tapestries of various kind of historic importance of the Dragons of the First War. A large 4-poster bed. And on said bed is a Castus just railing Bella.
That's fine. Can I do a perception check to see if there's anything of importance in the room except for those 2 going at it? Like those documents on the desk, if I could see what they're about.
Yeah.
If I can try.
as a viewer, can I ask, is it consensual?
Seems pretty, yeah.
Okay. I have a pretty high perception.
Again, completely silent.
19.
Ow!
19.
No, as in Nefel can't hear anything.
Yeah, but
Like as in there's no.
I am trying
Yeah,
to
when I
switch
said it
over to
was
see if
worse,
he's
I was just
saying
imagining
secret stirring.
super
I'm
awkward silent sex.
Like he's moving a lot. I'll say that.
I do say to Opa what I'm seeing, so I'm sorry.
Like he's doing a lot of movement. She not so much.
Oh.
I'd like to think Opa like figures out what's about to happen a second before Neville does, and is like, oh no.
But yeah, I rolled a 19 perception.
19 perception. Not terribly anything. Nothing like. No, it's not like a loaded gun. It's like it's a lot of just very official documentation of just kind of like a variety of decrees in the city. Just kind of some talks like commands to a lot of the armed forces. The decree sent to collect you guys along the road.
That's in his bedroom?
For the 3 dragons.
Oh, 3 dragons, oh yeah.
Like a lot of kind of trade agreements with like Astoria and Aresia. Nothing really like. Again, no like kind of smoking gun. This guy is embezzling money from the crown or something like. Nothing. Definitely nothing. No secret love letters to Gaius or something like that.
I wouldn't be surprised.
It's a BFF collage.
Is that's good for the whole room, and do we need to roll again for the rest of the room?
Hit me with another stealth check.
Oh, higher that time.
What if we killed guys?
26.
26.
I have my axe.
Do they have a secret tattoo?
I survival.
I mean, like, you got a good look at his ass.
Yeah.
There is a dragon tattooed on his butt.
He's a boy with a dragon tattoo!
Sucks.
Anything. Spell it?
Oh yeah, who's that?
The concubine.
Yeah.
Right.
The fucky.
Which one was the concubine?
The woman sitting at his feet the whole time. The one who made that great oxen suggestion.
Yeah.
Smart woman.
Well, not that smart. She's fucking cost us.
Yeah, but if she wears
Everyone makes mistakes.
But she has influence now, and like we wouldn't have thought
Fuck
of
her
that.
king,
Maybe
remember.
we wouldn't have thought of that oxen plan by herself.
Exactly.
Maybe we wouldn't have. God forbid. God forbid.
Was she the teacher?
No, that's Chandra. That's mysterious.
That's right.
You actually you have a look at the desk. Like you're looking around again, like a lot of kind of all the trappings of like kind of kingship. Like a stand with his royal arms and armor displayed and neatly polished. His closet full of finely pressed togas. As I said, like a lot of kind of tapestries of dragons in the First Lord and the First Wars, and like paintings of some of the original Dragon Lords.
He was merged of his fucking granddad or whatever when he's fucking loser.
Does he make eye contact with his granddaddy?
Oh,
No, specifically not. Well, actually, no. You have another look at the desk,
no.
and there is a journal on the desk. You get a good look, and it's a very
Dear diary.
it is a personal journal. There is some markings in there about.
I can't open it, to be clear. I can
It
just...
is open.
Oh, don't see
It is open. He's like it's not a very organized desk. But you catch the last. You catch part of the last entry, which makes mention to having that dream again and seeing his form taunting me.
That dream again, his form taunting me. I do say this so heavily.
See,
guys,
like
like guys,
you
right?
mentioned,
Oh god.
he sees like he makes mention to his to the ethereal form of this person taunting him, promising him glory and fame unbound to humans.
It's pesky.
No, it's his fucking sister. The dream one.
Like your dreams?
Oh.
I regret saying this. Can I switch to hearing?
Oh no.
Just in case. That
Kev,
people often
Can we ask you to limit this a little
Yeah,
bit?
please.
Don't. No, I don't want
We have to
hear-
look you in the
if
eye
it's
after
just,
this.
If it's just 10 minutes of sex sounds, I don't care. But well, I don't want to know about it. Just say that. But Lavelle is aware that sometimes people like to divulge after or whatever. So I don't think he's going. He's an old guy.
Wait,
He's
so
an
is
old
the fella's
guy.
gonna wait
Be
till
respectful.
he sees the faces
I
and they're
won't.
like, okay.
I won't roleplay.
That's not what I'm asking. I'll shut it down.
It is sexless.
Yeah, but
Oh.
okay. I have 10 minutes of this. Is this old guy fucking for the full 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay. And he doesn't say a single secret during sex.
No.
What kind of man is this?
Busy.
Do you?
All my secrets.
Like just in the middle, just like, oh yeah, and today I was
Hell
fascinating.
can't do it, but Rebecca, it's okay for you to do it.
Yeah,
I
and that.
burned with glorious.
I know Belle just wait the full 10
me what I
minutes.
think is unveiling personal secrets.
In
while
case
the
they
middle
give
of
a
it.
secret at some point. No secrets given.
And
No, but
10
you
minutes and
can
I'm waiting.
tell he's getting tired by the end.
Can I switch to hearing at the end and roll insight on Bella to see how she's feeling about all
roll inside.
Bella, how are you doing?
Okay, that's not so great. 10.
DC 5. She's performing her heart out.
Okay. Happily?
Consensually?
Yeah.
It work is work sometimes, you know.
It's like,
sometimes
yeah,
it's
no, you
there.
know, you can tell she's not getting much out of it, but
She's
Okay.
getting you a very nice bed out of it.
Hopefully different. bed.
Pillow's comfy.
Yeah. Okay, so.
I've always liked that tapestry.
Yeah. I guess I come back out.
I always did
and
prefer
just go,
grandpa.
Well.
I think the first couple of things that you spied during the course of that were pretty useful.
The rest of the fella being like, yeah, I'm still going at it.
Play by play.
Still going at it. No secrets yet.
Not
yeah,
sure.
I'm sorry, it was hard for me to. Yeah, I just wasn't sure what
He
was
looks
relevant
winded, but
to
he's,
what.
he's still
Sometimes
going.
I leave stuff out and it is important. I didn't want to leave anything out in case.
Can I just
I'm
ask,
just-
how were Opa and Nafel sitting, like, during this exchange? Like, were they, like, looking at each other in the eyes? Were they
Well,
sitting
the fell
side by
couldn't see
side?
for half of it.
Were they aware this was happening?
I was there. I was sitting beside the fell for the duration of this. Like I've been a professor at the academy for a great deal of time. I have gone away with my students,
Oh.
and when that happens, you assign them places to sleep, and they don't listen to you or whatever else, and such things happen. But I just like to reaffirm, I am very gay. I am not in this whole
That's
description.
never come up with this before.
The fella is very aware, and the fella is just delighted to be your friend. It's,
You and I.
yes, that's all that the fella wants. From all of you, unless you want one. But
Are we all in the same room?
I think
I think
think
we
we're
probably
outside.
went out.
Okay.
Unless everyone else has been sitting here while he's
Just
been
all
doing the
slowly
play.
just
I
pass
mean,
by and
the
sat
fella
down.
isn't trying to keep this from anyone. The fella just went to Opa to ask for help, so wherever Opa was. But yeah, I do think definitely. I mean, we all knew he was kind of sus, but I think maybe he's mentions of promises of rewards for getting something done. He is. What was he pushing for? He wasn't really pushing for a particular thing, was he?
The first thing he suggested was getting rid of the Temple of the Five.
Temple of the Five.
He's
So
looking
let's
for
not do
paying us
that.
is what he was doing.
Hell yeah.
Let's not do that.
But if that was his first suggestion. Sorry,
You know, maybe if he sold that shiny armor he has, he could afford some of the ox.
I think it would probably do, in that case, to maybe get a closer look at that tomorrow.
I do think that would be a good idea.
Maybe we wait until folks have left the throne room, gone about whatever their daily duties are, and one
Yeah.
or two of us.
Of our sneakiest.
You're
And
still
they're
hanging around
luckiest.
outside, just like.
Or, alternatively,
Just ask Bella.
we could let her go.
Oh, that's a good idea. I don't think Bella is bad, but I don't think she's inherently against the king. So I don't know.
But you could just,
was against murder,
just
but
bring us that notebook. We'll let you bring it back.
I'd be worried that people apparently not during this time, but people do tell secrets during intercourse. It's something that's just.
I didn't see you after.
Well, you
Just
know,
send Stella.
I think Stella might be a good idea.
Yeah.
I think Stella might be the way to
But you
go.
need to
What
be
is
started.
perfect little weasel?
Stella.
Is there a range on how far Stella can be from you?
Let me check. Find familiar here.
The room wasn't too far away from the chamber.
Because I think you can see through your familiar as well.
I can. No, I don't have a range on how far Stella can go. While she is within 100 feet of me, I can communicate with her telepathically, and as an action, I can see through her eyes and hear what she hears until the start of my next turn. So I could, like,
Just tell her to go.
tell her to go to a thing. I could get her to go in there, read the whole thing, and
Just turning the
Come
pages.
back and
turn some pages and come back out.
tell the tale.
Grand. I'll send off.
How big is this post?
Maybe wait like an hour. I'm sure they'll be asleep in an hour.
How big is this
Or wait
post?
until we're with the king somewhere.
Oh, tell her to take all the documents.
The documents are pretty boring.
Take all of them.
Oh, the documents. I do it. Fancy me.
I do think his dream journal is what we really want to get into.
Reveal all his financial secrets.
Palace is big. Palace is big.
Maybe talk to him asleep, maybe keep
Downside,
your weight around.
pretty easy. There's only two of them living there. It's a waste.
I
Well,
say
there's 3 of them.
we liquidate the assets of the rich.
And
Oh.
the rich, not
Not yet, not yet.
Wait.
Oh, sorry.
Ask
Yeah,
them to
a
buy
creature
more
that can
food.
see it. Or sensors to the creature that
Money
can
use.
see invisibility or true sight. That didn't apply. No, no, it's okay. I should have said that beforehand, but yeah.
Yeah, but like that's like again, they were busy otherwise. So
Yeah.
um,
Obviously, I give you your very expensive staff
Well,
back.
If you ever need my assistance in anything again, I'm here with you.
Same to you. My stuff isn't very impressive, but I can be quite.
You are.
Thank you.
Absolutely. My friend.
I'm gonna go sleep beside an open window.
you just gotta you crack it and it's just like it is just bustling wind. Like it is.
Bearing being inside. Yeah. That's what I'm doing.
The white noise machine on full blast.
Like your swoop is just.
Oh, beautiful.
Aw.
And that just like there's kind of just a semicircle of just wet there now, like it.
I dry off quickly.
So anything else anybody wants doing?
Well, Bucephiana is hanging around outside. Does he catch or overhear any conversations? Or...
No. Like again, there's nobody here. Like
I've
outside,
seen the Atlantis thing.
you would have caught like kind of the door opening and closing a couple of times, but like there's no one around because you're basically in a hurricane.
Yeah.
The only people kind of standing around are guards under whatever kind of awnings there are.
Can I try
there's
one
not-
last goddamn stealth check to get out of this palace and go to the goddamn temple?
Oh, you are like, I mean, if you like, you can leave. There's not really anyone stopping you.
Alright, fuck it, I'm going to the goddamn temple.
Like, I said, you could have walked into the, you walked into like the foyer and nobody's really stopping you. People were like, one guy asked like, what are you doing? Can I help you with anything?
No!
Yeah, you walk out, you walk out of the palace. Again, it is wet, rainy, cold, windy, dark. It is awful to be in. And the palace, so you are on, like, the palace is on top of one of the hills. And it's very kind of open cover, so you are just getting the full brunt of this storm. But you know enough of like the layout of Mytros to know where the temple is, at least in terms of the palace. Like it's very well known it's a very well known area in the city. So you go across and you like again walk kind of against the wind, all the way to the temple, and you reach it, and you reach its statues in its large, lavish courtyard as its grand frame comes into view against the dark lit sky and the flashes of lightning. Immediately, you notice that there is no lights coming from within inside
The temple.
the temple.
Okay, So Stephanie has Thieves' Cant, which I have not used at all. Can he use that to look for any sort of secret messages or codes or anything, that'll be around?
Kind of
just
secrets and codes. Hit me with an investigation check.
That's 10.
10, you don't, again, it is hard to make out anything because the world is a fucking wreck right now with this hurricane. And certainly, if somebody had written something in chalk on the front of this temple, long gone. Okay. Even if there was a message. What you do notice is a large padlock locked the front of the temple door.
Is there any windows? Or
any windows have
look
been
like another entrance.
Any windows have been boarded up.
Can Bucephiana go sneakily up to one of the windows and just either pull off a board or kick a board in?
There's no one, you can't see anyone. This isn't like the palace where there's people in residence and guards. There's no one here. This is a completely just destitute area, completely dark, no lamps or anything. So you go up. If you want to break in break off one of the boards, hit me with a strength check.
Come on, mate. Oh, much better.
Okay. DC 15 because these things are recent.
So I rolled a 17 plus 3.
20.
Yeah.
You knock, there's 3 boards on a window. You knock, bah, bah. You knock all 3 of these off.
And okay, I'm just imagining Bucephiana, up by the frame of the window and horse body in.
You walk in, it is immediately just dead air in here. The only sounds are the howling winds behind you echoing throughout the large halls, but it is pitch black in here. The only light source now coming from the window you have just opened.
Onto his little horse toes and he's going to look for the personal quarters where the priest would have stayed.
You start making it in, and very quickly you are hit with pitch black darkness. It is nighttime in a storm, and all the windows have been boarded up. You can't see a thing.
Can I pull out a torch?
Yeah. Yeah, you pull out a torch. So you find yourself, you kind of walked pretty kind of nearby the front door. You find yourself very quickly in the main foyer. Large banners indicating each of the 5 sects draped down, each leading off into their own separate bastion of the temple.
Does he see a Pythor statue?
There are statues of the 5. The statue of Pythor, actually, you notice, is much younger looking, which is strange considering the rest of the 5 haven't looked to aged
He's part
significantly. It's not so okay. Actually, it's not so much that he looks younger. He has a much shorter, cropped kind of hair and is completely clean shaven. But he is there in his full breastplate with spear and shield in hand.
Seen better days, Papa.
He's in bad mode now.
Yeah. He's in party mode.
Jury
It's in midlife
was
Kira.
here. He's going to Jury.
Yeah.
He's going to
You look over and you see again statues of the other 5. You see a statue just next to Pythor. You see the statue of Valus, scroll and quill in hand. You see the statue of Vulcan, holding a hammer over an anvil. And in the center, actually, you see a 5th statue, the statue to Mytros herself, gold plumed helmet, spear in one hand, book in the other. And then at the far left, you see the statue smaller than the others. The statue of Kira on one leg, another kicked out, with a lute.
I'm imagining.
Angus Young's dog.
Exactly what I was imagining. Okay, just before Bucephiana goes over to check that statue, can he do an investigation check to see if there's anything off about the temple? In any way?
Hit me with an investigation.
Why do I never remember? That's 17.
17. Nothing's off. Everything's still very well maintained. If not, things have just seem to have gotten a bit dusty. And there is a slight smell of damp getting in. It tells that this place hasn't been maintained in a couple of days. But again, the thing you notice more than anything that you clocked immediately, empty. Not a soul is in this building.
Bucephiana is gonna. So, would the priests who live there, would they have kept their personal belongings near the statues, or?
No, as in the next to the statues are passageways that lead off into various other sections of the temple.
Okay, Bucephiana's gonna go by Kira's statue and go.
You walk in. You enter a smaller kind of common area. A lot of very comfy couches. A lot of kind of hanging rug displays. A lot.
Any denim?
No denim. All comfy.
That's a Python move.
You see hanging from the walls a variety of musical instruments. From lutes to guitars to barons to kind of pipes. Just like a whole kind of litany of instruments. Hanging, you see a handful of scribe desks, kind of littered around the place, and then a couple of other passageways out.
Okay, this wouldn't have been an area where people slept. No. Bucephiana's gonna keep going till he finds where people would have slept.
Keep going. Again, it's separating a large temple as it is, separating it into 5 distinct zones. Those 5 actually become pretty small in and of themselves. So it's not hard to locate the personal quarters of the live-in priests and priestesses of the various sects. You find the first door from the common room is you find kind of a hallway of definitely very kind of various living rooms, each with nameplates.
Buse is going to look for Jerry's.
I guess the nameplate on Jerry's one is there's very clearly a really old nameplate that was there beforehand, and then taken off, and I think a lot of them are they're wood and they have a gilded thing on top where it's engraved in, but Jerry's is just on the wood and it just says Jury on it in really bad handwriting.
It's got a big shaded patch where there was an old
yeah.
I'm actually I'll if you want to get to go into the room, then I'm gonna actually leave this on Eric.
Oh, yeah, so when you go in, it's the way the windows are boarded up, this one was covered and boarded up already. There's a bunch of thick blankets that are over any light source, but it's big depression nest kind of vibe. It's there was a bed frame, but it's just a mattress on the floor now with a bunch of blankets all in there's no red or pink anywhere. That's all the stuff that's in a wagon. This is all bright yellow and teal blue and an emerald green. It's all these other colors that don't match at all. There's there's bowls and bowls of what used to be grapes and food and stuff, and fucking loads of glasses of wine and water just surrounding the bed. It's a real nest kind of thing. It looks as in it's bad. As in there's there's like one writing desk that has like some of Kira's works on it, one history book about Minotaurs, and like the rest is fucking bullshit on like color theory and like the historical importance of the Carpo era. Like it's all pretentious bullshit, and like there's like just like a bunch of like other sort of like linen suit like outfits and acolyte robes there, and like also ones that are like fucking like 50 sizes like too small for him as well that are just hanging around as well. And there's like a bunch of like sculptures in there as well. A lot of them look to have been accidentally broken, and there's like and there's 2 sketches on the desk as well.
Why the sketches off?
One of them is of a sort of like a drow woman, and like as in she's sort of like youngish, and she's got like a flower crown, and she's like sitting and she's like holding a glass of wine. She looks kind of sauced and like pretentious. And the other one, like that one's like on the desk. The other one is in sort of like a bit of like a frame, and it's like a very flattering portrait of like a dude with sort of like big sad eyes and like a large like bent nose and like sort of like a little halo of like brown curls, and it's like fully colored in and kept really nice. And there's like a little signature on it as well. That's like just like a squiggle, but like as in it's kind of like, you know, it's tilted like away from the view of like whoever'd be at the desk. Does that make sense?
Okay, Bucephiana is gonna take the sketches and roll them up.
Oh my god, he's stealing.
And he's gonna take the blankets and stuff. roll everything up all together. And all the books and everything, you know, the things that are really important.
Sack over his shoulder.
Okay, when you said the important, I thought you were like, are you just robbing your right now after everything? Yeah, it's really nice.
He's like a weird Santa Claus.
It's adorable.
Actually, no, he is Santa Claus. He breaks into someone's house and brings back presents.
But yeah, like that and all the sculptures. I have to mention, the sculptures, like they're all like cracked, like some look on purpose, like others like by accident, like they're all intensely horny. I have to say, they're all like, it's like, you know what I mean? It's like as in like a dude falling from battle, but like as in he looks way too pleased to be there. Like the statues are all uncomfortably
It's always
like
the
erotic.
celibates.
But
You say they're cracked.
yeah, or like chipped.
Oh.
Oh, cracked as in.
Butt crack.
Oh, yeah, the statues have cake, but there's like.
I was gonna ask you fucking statues.
Oh no!
Okay.
But like, as in, there is like the signature on all the statues is Marjorie.
He's gonna look at the statues again. He's gonna roll the sketches up very nice and neatly, put them in like the driest place that he can find. He's gonna take the books, the statues, put them into the blankets, and then roll the blankets all around them.
Oh.
Then he's going to. I'm assuming there's still some other material left in this temple, like from their living quarters and stuff.
So, like, again, as I mentioned, common room covered in rugs.
Okay, he's going to take some owl shiggy rug and cover everything else in that.
Stains everywhere.
Tried it. They
No, just wine stains.
Yeah, they tried to steam them out, but it didn't work.
We can't talk about horny statues
He's going
and
to,
then stain comments.
My V.
Before he leaves, he's going to quickly lift up the mattress.
Yeah, it's like there's like a couple different pairs of underwear that would not fit Jury, and like a bra and like a bunch of other like weird kink items as well.
Something some people should claim though.
What is going?
He's gonna leave. Head back to.
Yeah, no, you like torch in hand, find your way back in.
And
Speak to your pops and just.
by the way, also he's gonna get back out the window in the way he's gonna go kind of like butt first, but he's like whoop.
Like a frisbee.
It's really it's better that nobody sees how graceful that is, because that is surreal.
Everything about Busephia's movement is surreal.
It's like an eclipse. You can't look directly
Like,
at it. It's too beautiful.
It's like Bucephia just got sucked into the vacuum of space through this window.
The centaurs came out of that window. Oh, it fell out? No.
It slipped out. What, forward? No, backward.
And like
It's
against
like blowing bubbles, just so gracefully. Just like
an icing plunger. Like an icing squeeze.
Oh my.
And
I'm also imagining when he's marching back into the palace, it's like, oh, come on, help me! Like, no!
nobody's really kind of questioning the bag of stuff. You left, you came back. C'est la vie.
maybe it was in the wagon. Mind your own business.
Yeah, like that's the thing.
He's got to.
You guys are the hero of legend. Nobody's gonna assume that you just nicked a bunch of shit.
Yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, crazy.
Nobody's gonna immediately jump to that conclusion.
Me, little Bucephia.
Abuse. It would be the first time you stole from this group.
Well, that was one time.
Get over it.
You pass by everyone and get the apartment.
Are we all mid-discussion about what to fill, so...
I just remembered that there was something that I did want to talk to you about, and I can't bring it up now. Remind me after.
Okay.
Yeah, so Buse is going to lay Jerry's stuff out on his bed.
In the common room or not?
Oh, okay, like on Buce's bed or...
No, Jerry's bed.
So you just
He's gonna lay it on Buce's own bed. Okay, what do we got here?
So nobody else, like Nefel said he was going to bed.
Asleep. I assume, I don't know, I haven't checked yet.
Yeah, nobody else said, so everyone else is kind of in the common room chilling. So Buse walked and left the palace, came
With a
back
big
absolutely dripping wet, dropping on the phone, dripping wet in the carpet, and just storms right into the bedroom Jerry called dibs on, just kink.
I have a bottle of wine open to drink, sadly. And it's yes.
That's it. Those of you in the common area, you see Buse walk in with just a rug. A sack.
It's just a rug.
Handmade out of a rug. And just walks right into Jerry's room.
Is he going to do this every time we get to a new city?
I think so.
I think it's endearing.
Buse is gonna unfurl.
You better tell me you have Oxen in there. It's been such a...
from the...
Is that my stuff?
You said you needed to collect it.
Jerry starts crying. he just stops. He just looks at it for a second, immediately starts weeping, and goes,
I can put it back. It's okay.
Oh, please keep it. I thought they would have sold it. Thank you.
No worries. I think I've got most of everything.
That's everything that was important. Yeah.
And these, he's gonna pull out the sketches,
My books.
the dry sketches.
Thank you. He goes and immediately folds and creases them and puts them in a back pocket. Just wrecks shop. Thank you so much. You didn't need to do this for me.
Oh no, it's no worry. Stupid guards. Don't like them.
No, really, thank you. This was. I lived there for 10 years before I got that letter from Kira. He points his up, just I made these.
Really?
I made these. This was what I did for 10 years.
They are beautiful work.
Thank you. I worked really hard on them, but I had an incident with Gaius. I questioned him before I had any I'm sorry. I questioned him before I had any authority, and I don't know if you noticed, I'm a little clumsy now, but they didn't want it getting out there, so to reprimand me, he took away all my ability to craft, essentially.
What?
They have rituals and people who know healing shit, and it's just, I haven't seen anybody that I've been friends with for about a year. I've barely left that. That's why I was so ready to come to Kira and just die for it all. I don't have anything that I'm useful for anymore. And I just wanted to see it again, because I don't know. It's nice to think I could do something good at some point.
What are you talking about? You've done plenty good.
I know
You
we've got
are-
a good business.
You are one of the best Oxen owners I know.
So
The
do
best hero of legend I know.
I,
One of the best. Okay, one of the best. Saying this very quietly.
I didn't think that anyone could care enough after I can't do anything anymore. And this really means a lot to me, and I can't believe you do this for me.
What are business partners for?
Oh, ugly weeping. Like, it's really bad and gross. Like, he doesn't have like a human mouth, so the sounds are just bad.
I think
I feel like everybody can hear.
yeah, like
what's
that's
going
like
on.
at this point now, like all you're hearing is just kind of like moaning and snorting, just.
I'd like to think there's like a lad just like walking by the door, just like being like, and then it's like continuing on.
Again, to us, we saw Bucephiana storming, soaking wet,
Yeah.
directly into Buce's room. Sorry, into Jury's room. Sorry. And now they're just crying and moaning.
Groaning. Yeah. So they're fucking, right? Jesus.
I knew it.
It was already clear, but I would. You are my best friend. I will do anything for you that you ask, no matter what.
I appreciate this. You are also my best friend.
Okay.
I was alone for a very long time. I had people who
You're so cool.
I would have called friends, but they would have killed me in a second if I'd stopped being useful. I appreciate you. I appreciate our company. If you need time to collect yourself, I'll leave you.
You can stay here if you want.
Okay. So we're just gonna chill.
And unless there's anything else from anybody else, I believe that is a long rest.
I'll just roll to see if I did.
Roll the old standard.
Has anyone got an eraser?
They're in the Aristocats bag over there.
Now I can tell Pythor to go fuck himself twice.
Yeah. That's the real magic here.
You mean Sidon?
Oh.
You can tell Python go fuck himself anytime you want.
No, Sidon goes
And
fuck himself
affectionately.
once, Pythor goes fuck himself twice.
I wouldn't say fuck to Pythor, he might think that's an invitation.
That's very true.
Three.
Tree. I don't have any.
Well, that's nothing.
We're fine.
That's our fun.
That's why you get an accountant.
See what we do, we're coming out of
Callie's great intelligence.
We're the second group of business partners was a lot lower.
It's fun management.
I feel like we both forgot about something and I may have forgotten even more.
Yeah, we'll have to come back to that.
It's literally been weeks. I meant to bring this up and it just every time.
I think I'll have to check with this on you because I'll say yes, but I'll have to just yeah. We'll come back. You do that though.
Okay.
Grant. So, you all sleep soundly. These two stay up half the night talking about stock exchanges and fucking livestock.
So we know it's half.
Yeah.
That means there's 200!
That whole conversation we had during the break we're having right now.
Just
You
Jury's
tell it show.
Jury's
They've
there
never
with
seen.
Jury's there with a smoke like a cone. No, I'm telling. I like things are on the rise. The bubbles are about to burst. But yeah, you all get a full night's sleep. Although it is entirely scored to the rattling of rain on the roof. This storm is not relenting, and even as the next dawn rises, it is still dark outside. Clouds are covering the sky in a thick blanket, completely blocking the sun. And as you all wake up, there is a knock on the apartment door.
What? We're ready for this.
I was asleep in the common area by the window.
We haven't done anything!
I'll open it.
Or have we done
You
everything?
before you stands a large, muscular, tan-skinned woman.
Oh, hello.
Good morning.
Good morning to you.
Master Nefel. I've been sent here on behalf of Her Majesty the Queen. She requests your presence.
Nefel runs to get everyone up. And then before he goes, yes, right away. Give me 1 second. And then runs to get everyone up. Frantically. Very excited about this.
You all gather your things, gather your stuff, get dressed. You immediately clock that this is an Amazonian from Thebes. Although you do not know her personally.
I'll do this information.
And so
I'm doing an NFL check to see if he's lost anything.
hit me with an investigation.
Bad.
10.
10. Doesn't look like he's lost anything in particular.
Give him a pat.
Yes, so as all these people are getting their shit
Pats your
together.
back and goes, I appreciate you checking. Thank you.
As everyone's getting all their shit together, Kev, Atalanta, like, second she clocks that this is Amazonian, like, which just means it's the second she sees her, realistically.
Yeah.
She's, she's like gonna like drop her shit and just like stride on over and just like give her like the greeting of her homeland, just like, like the clasp, like the hand like this and like this or something. I don't know what that is. This whole thing.
Yeah, she does it, but you can tell she's definitely
It's like the parent trap magic.
you can tell she's definitely confused. You can tell this isn't something she's done in quite a while.
Sister, what are you doing here?
I'm chief stewardess to Her Majesty the Queen.
But how long have you been? Or what? Why are you here? How did you get here?
Like most transport in Great Cilia. Boat.
Oh yeah.
I meant, why? How long since you've been to our homeland?
Hit me with an insight check.
Can Nefel pick up Atlanta's stuff that she dropped and just hold it behind her?
That's a 17?
17. You tell that she's definitely, like, the moment you kind of mention our homeland, she gets a little cagey. That island stopped being my homeland. Some time ago.
That is fair, sister. Have you heard reports of the deaths of our kin? Some time ago I was on the road and found the bodies of 6 of our sisters. I thought perhaps you might have heard.
She raised an eyebrow. No news came to me of any Amazons, although little news of that part of the world ever comes to me now. I've cut myself off in that way. But no, I haven't heard of any besides, of course, yourself. I haven't heard of any Amazons in this reach of the woods in quite a while.
I would like to insight check this bitch. That is a 16.
Seems to be telling the truth.
I don't like it. Sounds fishy.
But you do definitely kind of hint that she might be stretching the truth with cut herself off.
Well, it is a big
Panto
place,
energy.
and of course,
And and of course I'm a very busy woman, tending to one of the most powerful women in the known world.
of course, and of course, her husband, the Dragon Lord.
I am stewardess to the Queen.
Oh, naturally, but surely you spend time in the palace, and occasionally he must ask you to follow some of his whims.
She kind of smirks a little bit. Once again, I am stewardess to the Queen.
And we should not keep her waiting.
Of course. By the way, my name is Makala.
Do I know this name?
Give me a history check.
Can you spell that for me?
Makhaila.
Stephanie walking out of like a room is like,
M-A-K-H-A-L-A.
oh my god!
Makhaila.
That's 5.
Ooh.
Fine, it's a big island.
We don't know everybody.
It's cool. Don't worry about it.
Maybe she's a culture, it's fine.
And so while you were doing that, everyone else kind of got their stuff, and you,
The fella has your stuff that he picked up and he.
Makhaila,
Jake
brings you all
takes it
then
from you. Like,
out. And again, still rain completely battering down, but you find your way kind of through like awnings and corridors back to the main central hub of the palace, and you were both then kind of in through the throne room and then out through the corridor Valis left yesterday. And then into another apartment, smaller than the one you were in, as yours is meant to house a large group. This one is smaller, but much more finely decorated. And sitting upright, definitely not looking relaxed, but sitting on a chaise longue, is the Queen herself. And as you walk in, she stands immediately to attention. You note that there are two kind of finely dressed kind of handmaidens at her side, and then in the corner 2 armed guards. Again, all 4 Amazonians.
yeah, can I history check if I know any of these?
Yep.
Or. Hey.
Maybe this is a lavender
What's
marriage.
a seven?
Alice is gay. That's the vibe I'm getting.
You kind of clock them all. They're all just kind of standing to attention. Kayla, Your Majesty, the heroes as requested. And it's like, yes, please, thank you for joining me. So early. Please, make yourselves comfortable. There's breakfast brought out here, and it's like kind of a handful of kind of like some fruits and some pastries.
What's the chaise longue made out of?
What's a shit?
Not denim.
God damn it! Give us
No,
more
that's-
denim!
Had to
Nope.
ask.
There's a
And
canvas, best canvas.
no, it's kind of like kind of cottony, like it's nice and soft. And
Brushed copy.
Is it blue
The denim
cotton?
of
Stressed blue cotton?
you're stressed blue cotton me out.
It's like the Oxen. We have to work for the Oxen.
Yeah,
We gotta
that's
work
true.
for the J's
We
long.
gotta layer it.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you for joining me. I'd like to start by apologizing to you all for yesterday. It's an incredibly stressful situation, with high raw tensions, and as mentioned, my husband seems to value the opinions of
those who seek to destroy us.
Do you value his opinion?
I value my wit and intellect.
Gotcha.
Now, what I actually wanted to discuss with you in private was a short matter of divinity, in fact. As you are no doubt aware, as of course you were the ones who undertook the operation back at the beginning of your quest, before you even received your prophecies from the sea, you undertook the slaying of a boar. In the
There was a time before. What?
Buceph, you've heard the story. Like you know the
The details.
You slew a boar, which kickstarted this whole
for it. Oh.
this whole thing, this whole sequence of events, and well, unbeknownst to me, I suddenly in mid-afternoon, I sitting, being attended to by my handmaidens, and I felt a radiance as a sacrifice of great magnitude was made in my honor.
Is this happening while
I-
she's talking to you guys? All pointing at each other.
For reference,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Juno did.
Eric is pointing at Rebecca and Finn to indicate that the two of them, as their characters, made sacrifices.
Yeah, we did, Jeff.
Yes, yeah. No, you guys sacrificed the boar in the name of Alice.
Me, I thought it was a bad idea at the time. I think it's a good idea now.
Well, look who's changed.
Solidly here for it now.
I thought it was strange. I receive offerings and sacrifice pretty commonly as a deity, but this one was different. This one held a magnitude, and it was again. I didn't know what to. I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what was happening to me, and that's not a feeling I'm quite used to. Only after finding out from hearing one of my sister's songs through the grapevine that you had sacrificed the boar in my honor, and for that I wish to thank you. I again, a feeling not used to it, at being at a loss for words. I thank you again for deciding to revere me in such a magnanimous occasion. But thanks, I think, is not all it is worth. I wish to present you with for adding a bit of power to my divinity, as sacrifices do. I wish to aid you in your quest. And she gesters to one of the finely dressed stewardesses.
Amazonians. Use their correct titles, please.
Are the handmaidens
They
also
are-
Amazonians?
I think so.
Yeah.
So
No,
all of them are Amazonians.
Yeah.
This is strong
Cards and all.
women.
Yeah.
That's 6. Some
Oh,
of
together.
those favorite
Together,
race.
yeah.
I think that's
We love
6
to see some
excluding
strong
Michaela,
robots
so I think that's
represented.
7
It's
total.
the buffest polycule.
Hell yeah.
We're like a poly cool.
And so they bring out a small kind of looking jewelry box, and they open it, and inside is a very ornate scarab pendant.
I'm gonna burn a spell slot immediately to cast Identify on it.
You have to identify on
Do
it.
it.
You spot. I'll send the details on to
the chat, but what you see immediately is that it is a scarab of protection.
We are just a panto in here, I swear to God.
Oh no, you didn't.
He's cheating on his wife.
Oh,
Behind you.
I'm so glad we weren't the Nefel folks last week, because if this was the week before, I would have been very upset for Nefel.
It was always implied.
I know, but like...
But yeah, so she actually, she then kind of explains. This is a scarab of protection. While the rest of your journey is unclear to those without the gift of foresight, I have no doubt that there is definitely going to be some ill will and attacks sent towards you. So I wish to gift this to you for protection. And the effects of this scarab of protection, once attuned, are that while it is in your possession, you will have advantage on saving throws against all spells. And it also has 12 charges. And on how to use a charge is that if you fail a saving throw against a necromancer spell or a harmful effect originating from an undead creature, you can use your reaction to expend a charge and turn the fail save into a success. However, once all of the charges are spent, the scarab disintegrates into nothing.
How many undead creatures do you think we're going to meet?
That's what I'm worried about.
We're going to the boat with the dead things.
Why are you presenting us with this?
Not you.
As a gesture of thanks for... as a gesture of thanks, we're not selling it was unexpected. Usually, sacrifices of that grandiosity are typically made to my mother. So I wanted to pay it in turn.
Well, in where I'm from, we always sacrifice to you. But I thank you for your gift. Might I be so bold as to ask for a private audience later on?
As you wish.
Thank you.
So suffice it to say, you like surprises for future reference.
It depends on the surprise.
Who wouldn't be?
I enjoy the feeling of divinity from a surprise sacrifice. However, I do not enjoy, say, a several-day torrential downpour on my city.
Of course. Who does, right? I mean...
For the hair.
That exactly, right? Just frizz everywhere, you know, when you're furry like this, you know, just...
I know all about it.
Oh, just...
So would you say that your husband has that in common with you, or do you have much in common? How do I ask this nicely?
You just did!
I don't think you can.
I don't think so.
Nefel smiles very sweetly.
I see. Acastus is a blunt man.
Bit of a twat.
Ladies, will you please leave? And all 5 of her stewards and guards kind of bouncing.
I thought she was asking me.
Yeah,
to.
I didn't know if it turns
So you as well? No, my heroes.
Boys night.
Oh, we're getting her tattoo.
You're never getting included anymore.
She
Shiver matching one.
On your butt.
So all 5 leave, and Valis kind of goes over and locks the door. I can see. I think it is obvious that several of you do not trust. Well,
No.
No,
like him.
absolutely not.
And
But you can't.
And for good reason. He is a fool.
Most men are.
A
Ew.
dangerous fool.
A powerful fool.
But a fool nonetheless.
I'm not.
how did a human have so much power?
That's blood for you. He is the direct descendant of both Esther and Telemark Arcalander.
Hmm.
Can you repeat that name again?
Esther and Telemark Arcalander. Two brothers. Not like
Ooh.
no, not like as he is of the bloodline.
Where'd you go?
Directly, actually,
sister wife. It's not crazy.
directly, he is the grandson of Esther Arcalander, who was one of the foundational Dragon Lords.
Hmm.
What was the other Outlander?
Wait,
Telemark.
he's just a regular dude, yes?
He
Telemark
is.
Arcalander.
He just
have
has
they been
his
married?
granddaddy was
Sounds like
important.
telemarketer.
He is also. He is human, however, he is incredibly powerful. He is a human in form and race, but he has. He is.
So potentially.
Word says he is as strong as a Cyclops.
Could he
I know
be
a
potentially very
Cyclops.
old?
We brained one.
Terribly, like he still lives like a mortal's lifespan. And by like a gauge, he looks about in his 40s.
Always a white man in his 40s.
And would you describe your relationship as
Strained.
monogamous?
Oh.
Rafael! Arlanda's got an inside check into Val to see if he wants to fuck Valis.
Advantage, remember?
Advantage. Oh,
Do you
mama!
want to hide this?
No, Nefel isn't trying to hide nothing.
That's 26.
Nefel is not against fucking Valis, but it's not his intention at the moment.
Not that the personal lives
First try.
of either
Only-
of the crown members of this city.
Nefel is only,
your
if you
business.
want to tell me.
However, yes, I'm fully aware that he is fucking that concubine.
That's what I was trying to lead up to. Sorry, like, I was just trying to figure out if that was like I should tell you about that. 'Cause I'm not
Wasn't she
good-
like straight out said to be a concubine like way earlier?
It was implied, but like I just want to tell
Is
you
it?
everything I know. So like we're on a
I'm
trusting.
Nefel. I'm fully aware. I have lived in this palace for centuries.
And the goddess of wisdom. That would.
Mm-hmm,
I
that
am
It
is
indicates.
in your favour.
I'm not very good with that.
Well, it is a wise woman who finds a concubine for her fool of a husband.
Oh.
No offense.
Honestly. I wish that was the decision I had. Bella is not one of mine.
Whose is she?
It
Hello. Sorry, why do I inquire as to who your previous husband was? Or have you had a previous husband? Or why you married this man in the first place?
I have not.
You have been here for centuries, and he has been here for what, 40 years?
This was the one guy that did it. This was the most specialist boy.
They just not judge people's relationships that we do not.
I'm doing it.
Do
I'm
not-
doing
I
it right
said
now.
stop it, you!
What are you gonna do about it?
I,
talk
the
about
one
this
prime
now.
I have lived at the seat of this city for centuries. I ruled it alone most of that time.
And this man
It wasn't
was
an
the one
easy
to
job.
settle down with?
So you're the one in charge here, not him.
It wasn't an easy job most of the time. In fact, it was a job I hadn't intended on taking when my mother decided to relinquish her physical form. Oh, Granny. There was no... Nobody else was willing to take up the spot.
I stare at Kira.
Kira's like,
Yes, Kira, you're right. It should have been a democracy.
you look at, like, she sees you, like, she sees kind of Kira's. I think we can all agree, sister, that you were not fit for rule. And she's like, yeah, no, you're right.
She could have helped though.
Yeah.
You're right.
Hey, but she's a good friend.
She could have helped though.
And let's not mince here. Many of the five weren't fit for rule. Vulcan
What are you saying?
Vulcan is good with his hands, and Python has been a competent ruler in his time in Astoria, but that was, as we know, that was a matter of circumstance after Esther ruled that city into the ground.
He's actually quite a competent tattoo artist.
He is, look at this.
We all have our own competencies.
Qualities
one
one
willy on
expects
me.
in a ruler.
The situation with the castus.
Talon fuses it in it.
I think everyone
As
is aware by now.
the Oath of Peace loomed towards an end, and ruin and devastation seemed to be knocking at our doors, difficult decisions had to be made. As I mentioned, ruling Mytros alone was difficult enough. Ruling Mytros with a war at our gates caused even more difficulties.
What was the war?
The Titans.
The Titans.
Was that not 500 years ago?
It's like now.
As it was coming to where we presently are.
We're trying to stop.
I feel like maybe we just get it over with, go to war.
We're on a quest to stop it from happening.
Deuce does not understand this assignment.
He came late to the group.
I've
I missed all the sports stuff, it was apparently it was wild.
As a boar.
Oh no!
Sorry, continue.
The real entertainer of the group.
Yeah, why did you marry Juno?
Wow.
What the fuck?
As I've mentioned,
That right there.
decisions had to be made, and power had to be divested. And in paper, who wouldn't choose the supposedly the most powerful man on the continent?
I'm sorry, there just has to be better options.
Powerful men.
For the record, everyone put up their hands.
Except for
Bar
Sure. I have
Hindsight
another
is
point to
20/20.
raise. You've chosen a husband who seems very keen to bow down to Sidon's advisors and Lutheria's advisors and basically all the advisors of the people that you are trying not to be at war with.
That's a good point. And also, if he seems very keen to destroy your temple as well, and if his grandfather was a tyrant in Astoria, and then if he is of the same blood, I think he is trying to Macbeth you.
I think this is all.
Oh, that ancient play!
The new play. You
Oh, the new play! I hear there's a fantastic reimagining of it.
To the point of subsuming my throne, it is hard to assassinate that which is immortal.
He could lock you in a room forever. Listen, there's lots of books where that happens.
Scaled it.
Brick by brick.
Deep power, yeah.
His ancestor
That's
did
true.
something similar. No, I'm entirely serious. Esther Archelander. Was it Esther Archelander who?
You ruled Astoria, yes.
Yes.
As a tyrant.
During one of our trials, we encountered a Minotaur who had been trapped underground in the necropolis, unable to die for the last 500 odd years, but also unable to leave, near as we could tell. Imprisoned there.
As kept for the record, that was Xander.
Oh, that was Xander Archelander?
Xander Juarez. Xander Juarez.
Xander Juarez.
Same guy.
Yeah, he was the head of the original Dragon Lords.
OG Dragon Lord.
But we know Esther Archelander ruled Astoria as a tyrant, and that's why Pythor had to overthrow him.
That's fair. I'm going to withdraw my statements there.
Okay.
Look,
Like
you
heads
know,
up,
you
then.
know
Let's go on
Pythor.
places.
I know Pythor. It takes a lot to get Pythor to really do something.
What is not
He makes
their
lots of promises about Oxen.
what is not their bloodline?
There's one flaw.
There's a lot of very
No.
serious recommendations going around, but divorce is always an option. You're the queen that the power is coming to him true. And he has done an adultery. I'm pretty sure that's grounds to kick him out.
What if you marry Atalanta?
A fine specimen.
She's powerful and wise.
As you all know, doubt aware,
And she gets on with all your stewards.
the powers in this city are precarious. The reason both the cult and the order have such a seat of power is because the people have given it to them. The looming threat of war has made the populace have to decide, have to pick a side, be it on overthrowing the Titans and allowing gods and men, the five and men, to rule again in a new age, or to plunge us back into a world ruled by the Titans before outside humanity ever stepped foot on these shores. Difficult decisions have had to be made in these years, and the people have made their decisions. Quite a lot have flocked to our temple, seeking solace in our power. Quite a lot have gone back to their roots and seeked the power of the primals who ruled this land before we ever stood foot in it. On point of the divorce, aside from the fact that Acastus holds quite a lot of sway between some of the personal advisors and retainers of this palace, thus splitting one bastion of human civilization in two, causing infighting. It would also broker a lack of faith in the people. And that is something we simply cannot afford in this tumultuous time. There are tensions in this palace, that I will not deny. But as long as they stay in the palace, the people's hope, at least for now, stays with us.
This is all deeply precarious.
War is deeply precarious.
Not if you have the bigger axe.
Mm-hmm.
You have a very big axe.
Well, I believe we've got a veritable sword of the stars in our hand.
Oh, I see what you did there.
Kira's not the only funny one.
I felt like his joke.
I knew I got my winning wit from somewhere.
I'm still firmly rooted in my belief that our sacrifice is the only option. I, of course, of the options given, magic simply is not capable right currently. There's nobody we know of that has the magical capabilities. And I've reached out to those in the academy. No wizard or sorcerer has the capabilities of turning this tide.
Give up a week, I tell you.
Where's a good
We'll have a
wizard
training
would be?
montage.
Of course, obvious as it may be, I will not support the destruction of my temple. That
Good enough, good enough.
Gaius is a fool and simply wants to undermine us.
I think he tried
He
to
will
kill
let-
us once as well.
He will let this
And
city
he did.
Sorry?
He will let this city drown if he had his way.
Maybe if we just like let the lower sections drown, you know what I mean?
Hey, what do you mean?
Take a moat
Don't worry.
around the city.
I do question.
We'd stop the rain, yeah.
I
What if
Irrigation system.
we sacrifice
For the
Giles,
ox.
we sacrifice your husband, we sacrifice the people we don't like?
Okay, at a certain point it starts to feel a little bit like maybe weird tyrants.
Strictly the bad ones. Okay,
We'll
strictly the
stop
bad
before
ones.
we get there.
out of character. Is the spell equivalent to control weather, or is it like I would need control weather in order to stop it?
Control weather would be
Equivalent to it?
not equivalent. Like it would have to be the 8th level spell control weather.
Okay, right. I wanted to double check a thing.
Yeah, no, like that's like that seems to be like, you know, there's been word that this is a spell that exists and has been used by mighty sorcerers in times past. Currently, nobody has access to something that powerful.
Where the heck are all these mighty sorcerers at?
Back in the war about 500 years ago, you know.
They always back off just when you need it.
Okay, I'll get there eventually.
I tell you,
No
give it a week.
fresh.
Demolishing my temple is obviously
Off the table.
off the table, and so is sacrificing 70 children.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yes.
that one I agree with.
And yet 100 oxen seems to be out of the question.
So maybe meant to be a
Wait,
thousand
no,
oxen.
I do have a question about.
Acastus has a head for numbers. However, I will concede on him this. This storm has already taken a lot from this city. Crops have all but vanished from our walls. And fish also are nowhere to be caught. Currently, our livestock stores are the remainder of this city's food. And to sacrifice half of our stores would be... We are low on stores as it is. We are a truly massive population in this city. Half of our stores could starve quite a number of our population. And as I said, Acastus plays a numbers game. And without proper compensation to replenish those stores quickly, we would be putting certainly a lot of the lower class of this city at risk.
And we can't do that either.
No.
I have mentioned this before, but
I have a question. I just you when we came in here, you thanked Atlanta and Juno for giving you a sacrifice. It mentioned it made you stronger. So would any sacrifices made to Sidon be making him stronger?
Would it have to be like noteworthy sacrifices like that boar?
But like if it's 100 oxen or like a
That is
temple
also-
of the 5.
That is also...
Could that be why they wanted the princess in the last place?
Certainly sacrifices made of... sacrifices made of significant characters.
named characters. Like
In view a certain power. A name is a powerful thing. And yes, sacrificing such a large amount of our livestock to Sidon would no doubt also give him power. Like with money, like with many things, a sacrifice of that scale made to us would certainly garner us power. But with that power, I wouldn't know exactly what to do with, and also, power does not feed my citizens.
But perhaps once you have lost your power, we could perhaps have a sacrifice or two to replenish your power.
I know when you guys were saying you're going to sacrifice your powers, it wasn't like make a sacrifice to him, it was use your powers to attack Sidon, I believe. What if you like did that and then like said, and this sacrifice is to each other, and then you'd be like, it'd be sacrificing your own powers for yourself.
So we call recycling.
Friends.
For a shot.
And we throw in 50 oxen just to make it really good.
Where are we getting these 50 oxen?
We're already
You've
at
certainly
30.
been garnering the creative mind of my sister. I'll give you that.
Kira's rubbed off on us.
She's a great influence.
I can't speak to how effective sacrificing, self-congratulating ourselves in a sacrifice would be. Although,
What you've got to lose.
well, no, but certainly a significant amount of my power on my people. But
There's a lot at stake.
you do raise a point I hadn't considered. What if a sacrifice was to be made to us again after? As I said, I have no... While I'm certain that the power of the four of us combined could break this storm, I'm still unclear as to how much of my power would be drained.
If we could ensure that we had a sacrifice ready,
Or
for
even that our
afterwards.
next big conquest that we do, that we would sacrifice it for you, the five.
Ifel, you're thinking what I'm thinking? I've got the rope. You got the rope?
I was about to say, I think it was like, you mean the rope, and I didn't think that's what you were thinking, but it was what you
Is
were
there
thinking. I don't know what you're thinking what to do
What's
with
his
it.
name? It's in this palace somewhere. We grab him.
Not to toot our own horn or anything, but we are proficient at fighting creatures and monsters and those that would terrorize the populace. And I think that were we to go with this plan, we would quite happily go and become the whetstone that sharpens ye all back up.
We saw what happened to that griffin outside the city.
could we
Yeah,
then go
given-
back and sacrifice him?
He turned to ash, unfortunately.
It certainly was a shot. And Ezekiel just kind of like, not for nothing. I like this plan. I was happy to give up my power, but if there's a chance of getting it back, yeah, I like it. I like this plan.
Greedy bitch.
But Valis, as the goddess of wisdom, I would inquire as to if you think that's a possibility. Do you think that's something that we could likely do? Do you think that you will be overwrought afterwards? Is this something that can be recovered?
As I've mentioned, the foresight I had in deciding this course of action was clouded at best. Although, from past experiences and from what I understand of sacrifices, I believe that there is a very likely chance this could be successful. And with that, there is a knock on the door from one of the stewardesses, and from behind the door you hear, "Your Majesty, the visitors from Astoria have arrived. They're waiting in the throne room."
The who?
And there we are going to end our session.
Oh shit, it's the fucking.
It's a thingy, a Pythor we're involved in.
Guys.
Boys!
Oh, the boys are here!
Tab.
For a second I thought, like, the second Gladius Astra.
I was like, bitch, they got two groups. They're like,
Wait,
oh god, the spares.
It's our rival group from across town.
Gladius Solna!
We're Gladius Astra, there's Gladius Beta.
There's all
They've-
kind of.
They've come from the greatest story of salsa party. Like,
That is Lambda is our rival
Prophecy.
across the land.
There's a lot.
Thank you all for listening back to this, if you still are. I hope you have a really lovely day. I hope the audio is good.
Oh god.
I have no
Yes,
idea if it is. We'll find out in post. I love you very much. Have a really nice evening, or day, or morning, or work, or whatever.
Good luck, Gladius. Get caught in the ring.
Hell yeah, baby, it's in time.
If you
Have a brain.
If you like that, you love me, baby.
The dudes in the cape.
We've been together too long.